Thank you! Can we just become best friends? Yup!
Julian's airman has just boarded the plane.
What? Thank you! Can we just become best friends? Yup!
Boccia has just boarded the plane.
What? Thank you! Can we just become best friends? Yup!
Ahmed Saud has just boarded the plane.
Hey, how's it going? Are we all ready? It keeps banging on that. I'm gonna try and stop that. Testing, 1, 2, 3. Is anybody there? I'm all set. And my bags are packed and I'm ready to go. Spellsinger, Rhymester, how's it going, guys? The OGs, we're here. Let's do this, shall we? Ba-dum, 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 ba-dum. Hey everybody, welcome to another Fighting Fantasy fun adventure. Remembered the glasses this time. Hey Leo M, how's it going? Welcome in everybody to Spectral Stalking. It's like Ghostbusters, I think, this one. I'm not really sure. I don't remember much of it again. Let's have a look at the book. I mean, the artwork on this is mega. It's very Tim Burton-y, I would say. The artwork for this book here is very cool looking. Cover illustration is Ian Miller. Ian Miller is doing the cover art, and honestly, it looks like Starship Troopers meets like a vampiric Batman almost, you know? Very cool looking. Very nice. Where's the dice? Can't see them. There we go. Get the 6 rolls out of the way. How is everybody doing today? Who wrote this book? Peter Darville Evans wrote this book. And the illustrations inside were done by somebody different, Tony Howe. Or Hoff, however you want to pronounce that. What is that? Hang on a sec, we got some interference here. I got my phone holder there just in the shot then. Yeah, it looks like Starship Troopers. This is book number 45. We're catching up to my age, guys. Book number 47 is The Crimson Tide. Oh, that's spooky. Dudes, the same book as My Year is the same title as a Gene Hackman film. How creepy is that? The Crimson Tide, book number 47. I'm 47. Crimson Tide. Gene Hackman. It's all related. It's all connected. Honestly, I do remember this being a good book. What year did this come out in? This was first published in 1991. The year Freddy died. Man, that's like 30 plus years ago. Guys, can you believe that there are books that we've read numerous times that are over 30 years old and we still haven't completed them? Like, how insane is that? I've got loads of books on my shelf here that I've read and finished, completed, done. That's it. Don't need to read it again. And yet there are many books in the Fighting Fantasy range that we haven't seen, like, and completed. And they're over 30 years old, man. I'm just catching glimpse of myself. I look like a right proper nerd, don't I? The cool man is gone. Let the nerds rule now, innit? So how is everybody doing this morning? Do you know what? Outside, the weather's getting good. Winter is over. We're in spring now, and we're gearing up for summer. And I imagine in Australia, you know, you're winding down, you're in autumn, you're gearing up for winter. And it's in that crossover period where the weather for both areas of the world is kind of loosely similar. So, guys, don't forget when it is getting cold down under, you know, and you need to get that log fire burning, you could always rock up on a Sunday morning or evening for you and sit down for some Fighting Fantasy warmth, all right? And warm your cockles on the fire of Fighting Fantasy. Which, by the way, there's some news. Guys, we got Fighting Fantasy news today. Can you believe it? I mean, a bit irrelevant for a lot of people, but the Americans are going to love it. So, as we know, Puffin did the original release of Fighting Fantasy. You know, the old diamond daggery, whatever it was, and I think that's what these re-releases are as well. They're from Puffin, aren't they? Yeah, Puffin Books. So these guys re-released the Dragon version, right, which is the ones I prefer to collect myself. And then, of course, we had these kinds of releases from Wizard. You know, once Puffin got rid of the rights, you know, Wizard took over. Hey, this one's illustrated by Tony Hoff as well. Can't wait to get to that one. So, yeah, this was like the New Age Fighting Fantasy, continuing the series until these dudes took over. I don't know who these people are. Is this Wizard as well? Dude, I'm bending that book. Stephen King, you're crushing my Fighting Fantasy books, mate. The Green Mile. It's bending me book. I'll have to sort that out. I think these are still Wizard books, but this is the state of the Wizard books when they, I guess, yeah, are these Wizards? Yeah, these are still Wizards. So then they kind of look like that for a few episodes. And then Scholastic got involved with the Gates of Death being their first version. We got Scholastic, the kiddie versions, you know. They took over. Or is this? Yeah, this is Scholastic, isn't it? It looks like Scholastic. Yeah, there we are. You know, with the artwork basically clip art, bloody CGI shit. That happened for a while, but Ian took us back. Even though it was under Scholastic, Ian tried to take us back to a time of when it was the Green Spine days, even though it's still Scholastic here. And the artwork, I think, was line drawn as well. So he really tried to revive the old classic series, you know. But, you know, Port Peril, all the way up to the Rihanna Pratchett one, still the clip art crap. And then obviously brought it back and still releasing through Scholastic, right? To this day, there's still, you know, Blood Island, this Scholastic. Anyway, point I'm trying to make is Americans are going to get a new re-release of the classic Ian and Steve books. The first 5 are being released in America. There's a Kickstarter. You know, they want the fans to pay for it. There's a Kickstarter being done where you can pledge and buy the first 5, where they've brought the original artwork back, although the first cover of Warlock isn't the original one. And they're basically releasing them in America. I don't know, for the first time, is it? Is it the first time Americans get this release? I mean, people buy them off eBay. I don't see the point in this, but, you know, hey, it's activity in the Fighting Fantasy world, you know. I don't think I'll be getting them because I've already got them, you know. I've already got the first 5. I don't need another version of them. I never picked up the Wizard version of the you know, these ones. And I think Scholastic also redid them in the Sorcery series. I haven't picked up any of them either because I've already got them. I got the originals. The Sorcery down here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Where's my spell book is missing. Someone's stolen the spell book. It's got to be around here somewhere. Either that or we're all in deep shit. So it's always a thrill when you read Turn to 400 at the end. It is such a thrill. I don't actually remember having that memory on many books, to be honest, if any. So we start getting hot. 35 days, then a storm. Mate, that was ages ago. Guys, refresh your page. I think you guys are right behind. I think I've been talking for 5 minutes on a different subject here. It's hot, and then next day down to 20. It's up and down. No way. Mate, that's not barbecue weather, is it? You gotta have the barbecue stuff ready to go and pounce on the day when it's there. You can't plan these things, can you? Sadly, Kickstarter editions are really expensive. Yeah, I've noticed that you've got to pledge at least 30 to 50 quid to get those first 5. Now, these books were a $5 a piece to buy separately. Like it says on the back here, $3.99 for this one. $3.99. And they're like 15 quid a pop now. I mean, I guess with inflation, you know, but 15 quid for a paperback, I guess that's legit, isn't it? It's a game that's going to last forever, really, isn't it? So I guess 15 quid's all right, 15 to 20 quid. But yeah, I'm probably not going to get involved because, I mean, maybe to support it, I'll put a quid in, you know. But Americans probably already have these versions from eBay. Like, anyway, I'm grateful for anything they do at the end of the day. Like, writing another book, you know, new books, grateful for that. But even releasing them to new territories that they haven't previously been released in officially, that's always good news because it opens and widens their audience who can then support them with the current stuff they're bringing out, promoting them to write more. So go team Fighting Fantasy, basically. So there's that. Also, guys, I've decided the painting of the figures isn't going to happen in one single video, right? It would be a waste of time to do that, I feel. We're going to save it for Fighting Fantasy Day in August. I'll paint a load of them, right? I'm going to paint loads of them, and then we'll line them all up, because once you get into a flow, you don't want to stop. So yeah, on Fighting Fantasy Day, when I do a 12-hour stream of Fighting Fantasy, talking about the books, going through each one, sharing memories, you know, we're also going to be doing painting the figures in between as well. And I will do, in the meantime, because that's in August, obviously, so that's a while away, but before then, I will do my personal playthroughs to my members live streamed. Okay, so I will read the books, I will make the choices, and I will live stream it to my members only. So if you want to catch that, I haven't planned when I'll start doing that, but it will be within the next couple of months. If you want to make sure you're able to watch that, join as a member below, support the channel, and yeah, you'll get to see me when I go live, but it won't be, say, till April or May. So Adam's Fighting Fantasy Day is up there with Christmas. Fighting Fantasy Day is on August the 27th. It's a Wednesday, and it's going to go from like 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. 12 hours of Fighting Fantasy, guys. It's Fighting Fantasy Day. It's do you know what? Is it actually a thing, Fighting Fantasy Day? Let me see. Let me type in Fighting Fantasy Day and see what actually comes up, because I don't know if this is actually legitly a thing, and I've been oblivious to it. I mean, you got the Fighting Fantasy Fest, which is in September, so no, that's not it. International Game Book Day, which is the 27th of August. So there is an International Game Book Day. Why is it International Game Book Day? That's a bit weird. Because I'm saying it's Fighting Fantasy Day, but they're saying, well, it's the game book. It's just the spread for every single book, for every game. So it is a thing. International Game Book Day. Yeah, that's on the 27th of August. Okay. So, and I don't know if that's repeatable though every year. It's an online event that celebrates all things game book related. So, not specific to Fighting Fantasy, but it happens to land on the day that Fighting Fantasy first started. So, and I don't know if it's a yearly thing, this International Game Book Day. It doesn't actually state. It just, on this particular post, it was the 40th birthday. So, I think they just deemed it. But I can't see anything else about that. Let me type in International Game Book Day and see if this is an International Harry Potter Day came up. Game Book Day. AI says it does celebrate annually on the 27th of August to celebrate all forms of interactive fiction and game books, and in 2025 it'll fall on a Wednesday. Here's a more detailed breakdown. The purpose. The day is dedicated to celebrate the joy of interactive fiction and game books as a medium that allows readers to make choices and experience a story as if they were the character within it. It does happen every year. Okay, so I'm calling it Fighting Fantasy Day. Sorry. It's for me, Fighting Fantasy only. So I guess we don't have to anyway. Do you have any duplicate Fighting Fantasy books? No, I don't think I do actually. No, I don't actually buy Fighting Fantasy books now unless it's new coming out. So I don't have any dupes, I'm afraid. Yeah, sorry. But I tell you this now, if I see one in a charity shop for pennies, I'll buy it and send it to you. Okay? I don't go to charity shops that often, so don't be expecting it within the next week or so. But if I do happen to see one in a charity shop, I will get it. You mentioned something, Spellsinger, about book 35, so I'm going to guess you've got up to 35. So anything after 35, I'll kind of keep my eye out for. You the man. Yo, bro. Yeah, no worries, mate. No worries. Right. Also, guys, I want to talk about something else. So, yeah, Fighting Fantasy Day, August 27th. Gonna be awesome. We'll do the figure paintings, so that way everybody can see it live on that day. I'll have cameras set up everywhere. I'll have about 4 different cameras set up, all right? So we capture all the beauty, okay? Now, also, for anybody who has noticed, on this YouTube channel, I also do other things. And I've started to do kind of film reviews. One came out last night, which is pretty relevant now, considering, these files are getting released. JFK, I did a spotlight feature review on the 4K version, which is pretty good. I enjoyed that. But I want to give you guys a first heads up to future ones that I'll be doing this summer. Coming this summer, I'm currently going through all of my discs that I have for The Incredible Hulk. So we've got the 5 series on Blu-ray, and we've got the 3 feature films, and I'll be going through these in a massive Hulk video in the future. Other ones I'll be doing as well is my Knight Rider set I've got, and loads of other TV shows. I'm currently looking to get He-Man and Transformers and She-Ra, maybe G.I. Joe, and yeah, I'll be doing all these massive reviews this summer as well. So if you're into that sort of thing, if you like that sort of thing, boom. I actually just finished filming one for a film that's getting a 4K release as well. But anyway, nothing to do with Fighting Fantasy, I'm afraid. Do you know what? It would be cool if we had an actual Fighting Fantasy TV series, wouldn't it? Detailing each of these books. Because the closest film we got is Dungeons and Dragons, and I don't think that actually got great reception. I haven't actually seen it, but I don't think that had great reception, did it? You do like the covers of the Wizard version of the books? Nah. With the writing popping out, the embossed feel. I'm not a big fan of those Wizard artworks, the covers. They look too they don't have that classic. You know how did anybody ever have an Atari 2600? Yeah, Starship Troopers looks like the cover art of an Atari 2600 game, where the cover looked so cool, and obviously the game looked wank, right? But it was the technology at the time, but their covers looked, oh my god, amazing, and it really promoted you to want to buy it. And that's kind of like the feel vibe I get off these covers. They're retro and they look awesome. These new ones, they honestly, I don't know, man, they look like Disney made them or something. They've got this singular vibe throughout the entire ones, and they all look very different. I'm not a huge fan of the Wizard books, to be honest. The only reason I got these Wizard ones is because they're not available in any other way. Like they only released these 3 here I guess it's really these 5 on the Wizard format, and it's the only way you can get it. Hang on, wasn't there 3 of these? Am I missing one? I thought these tall ones, Knights of the Necromancer, Storm Slayer, wasn't there another one like this? I'm missing one. Hold the fort, guys. Stop the press. I'm missing one of these. I am totally sure that there was a third one of these. Ice. It had like an ice monster on it. Or am I thinking about Storm Slayer? I might be thinking of Storm Slayer. Maybe not then. Man, I'm gonna have to get a list up. I'm gonna get a list. No, not Bloodbones, mate. I got Bloodbones here. Bloodbones, Eye of the Dragon, Howl of the Werewolf. But these two ones here, you can see them here. These two grey ones. There was Knight of the Necromancer, Storm Slayer, and I thought there was a third. I could be wrong though, guys. Watch this space for Adam Binge's Exeter Warrior Princess. Mate, I'm only going to be looking at good shit, alright? I ain't going to be looking at crap. Alright? Whoa. Hang on, my chair's just gone down. I just dropped my chair. Right, anyway. Guys, let's get into this book, shall we? It's already been like 10 minutes. 30 minutes! Dudes, it's already been like... Well, it's actually been about 20 minutes. 25 minutes. So, looking at this character, guys, I'm high as a fucking kite. I've just taken some painkiller meds because my back was playing up, and I haven't had my pain meds in weeks. Like a couple of weeks it's been since I took my pain meds. I can feel myself high as a kite now. Oh man, this is going to be a good one, guys. Right, so we got some sort of maze, some Westworld maze here. I don't know what that's about. All ye who would of symbols speak with what? Seaman the Seer? Dudes, it says Seaman the Seer there. Guys, can you see that? Read that. It says Seaman the Seer. Who the hell's Seaman the Seer? That's what it says. Simeon or Semyon? Semi the Seer. Whatever. Through courtyard maze him ye must seek. The paths are mirrored here. Pause for reflection, study ye. These twisting tracks of rock, the winding ways reveal the key. The gate ye must unlock. Danger dwells in many squares, only a few are gainful. Seek out the good and shun the layers, where entry will be painful. Guys, I don't even know what the hell that's about. Sorry. Do you know, it's been so long since I played this. I think it's actually been years. I haven't touched this book, I think, since I did the spotlight on it, I think. They got their names from a Bond movie. Cousin to Roger the Cabin Boy! Yeah, this is definitely in the vein of Pugwash. The book cover is making me high. Mate, honestly, it's like a Tim Burton nightmare, that, isn't it? It's actually, I love it. It's cool. I love it. Absolutely love it. You know, what's his name did a great job. Ian Miller. Props to Ian, you know. Oh, look at that. I'm holding up the dice there. Ivan Humpalot. Right, so we've got our skill, stamina, and luck, but we've also got a new score in this called Trail that we have to keep track of, and it says Spectral Stalkers can detect the traces of bullshit psychic energy that you leave in your wake as you travel between the spheres of the macrocosmos. They can smell out the bullshit, guys. Each time that you pay more than a flying visit to a location, if you stay long enough to become involved in a fight, for instance, you will leave a trail of fart gas behind, basically, and that will attract the Spectral Stalkers. The more times you do this, the easier it is for your shadowy pursuers to home in on you. So basically they can smell our scent, basically. Your trail score shows how easy it is for the Spectral Stalkers to find you. At the start of your adventure, your trail score is 0. But they don't even know of your existence at the moment. They don't know that we know they exist. They don't know that we don't exist. But we know that they exist. They got no chance of finding you. At various points, you will be instructed to add trail points to your score. Thus, the longer you spend on your travels, the greater the risk that the Spectral Stalkers will find you. At other times, you will be instructed to test your trail score. And the procedure for this is roll 3 dice. If the total rolled is equal to or more than your trail score, you remain undetected if it's more. So it's only they know of your existence if it's less. That's the opposite of luck. Wow, that's going to be mad. If the total rolled is less, you have been detected and you're going to get butt. You know. Often you'll be told to add a point to your trail score and test your trail score immediately afterwards. That's crap, isn't it? So basically, you start this adventure with no inkling at all of the heavy task that is about to fall you. We don't know what the task is. No premonition that in the days to come you will be pursued by a pack of nightmarish creatures, more inexorable than bloodhounds and more vicious than wolves. Instead, you are carefree. You have no employment, and your backpack contains provisions for only 2 meals. So we've only got 2 meals on us, guys. And I will say this, it does instruct you that you can only take specifically 1 meal at a time, and that is it. You can't do multiple meals. So that I think is pretty good, because if our energy was low, we would have to have like 4 meals to get up to, you know, tops. But I like the fact that it only allows you to do 1 at a time. That's quite important, I feel. But your purse is full and you have the world to go adventuring in. Your trusty sword is as ever at your side. It is recommended to make notes and draw a map as you explore, which I'm going to leave down to you guys. There is no way to succeed. Sorry, there is a way to succeed that involves a little risk. Even if you start with low initial scores, yada, yada, yada. We all know that bullshit. Okay, so other things on this map. The adventure sheet, right, has a section for potions and magical items, but it doesn't actually give us any to begin with. So I guess we can find some stuff along the way. So that's basically it, guys. Spectral Stalkers. We're going to roll for our scores in a second. I don't know what this map means or how it affects the journey, guys. So 2 meals, breakfast and second breakfast. Yeah, we got breakfast and then a bit more breakfast if we need it. I've obviously got the meals ready to go, guys. Ginger nuts. So if you do want me to have a meal, you need to put in capitals meal. That's all you need to drop in the chat. Meal. And that's it. So we're going to roll for dice. Now, who are we going to be today, guys? Are we going to be big dice or little dice? What do you reckon? Oh, shit. Are we going to be lost dice in a minute? I mean, let me get this with my monkey foot. Don't forget 11s. There you go. Pick it up with the toes. Right, so we got the casino dice we can be today, or we've got the fighting fantasy dice. Come on, guys, somebody say it. Like, I know nobody wants to be the one to nuke us, but come on, let's grow some balls, guys. Let's do it. Let's do this. Who do we want to be today? Big dice. Spellsinger comes in with the big dice. Right, then let's roll for our skill, shall we? Let's see what skill we've got. Here we go. Guys... But like they say, this is no indicative to, you know, hey, Greg, how's it going, mate? How good we're going to be. So we've got a skill of 7. All right. Get the ones out the way, I say. Yeah. Get the ones out the way. He hasn't seen Lord of the Rings. I don't think Adam knows that quote. I have seen the first Lord. Do you know what? Hang on. I'll be right back. I have seen the first Lord of the Rings film, and I have seen the second Lord of the Rings film, half of it. But I haven't seen the third. I actually do have the mammoth box sets of Lord of the Rings. Now, this is the DVD case, but inside isn't the DVDs, because obviously I They are out on Blu-ray, they're out on 4K. So I swapped out the extended set here, so it contains the Blu-ray films with all the DVD extras. So I'd have the best of both worlds. There's no point getting on 4K because these aren't, you know, they're upscales from a 2K master, so they're not going to look any better on 4K. So I'll probably never get the 4K versions of the Lord of the Rings, at least, anyway. But yeah, this I'll do a big massive review thing on this set as well. But I only have seen the first 2 films, and I've seen only the second film half of. I don't remember, to be honest, much of that. I really will have to watch it all again, to be honest. But if that is a quote from that film, sorry, you're right. I don't know it. Second breakfast. Oh, is that where it comes from? Right. Cheers. Thanks, guys. The extras are fantastic. I do remember, yeah, the extras on this particular set, I do remember being so detailed, like the King Kong set, which also I do have somewhere. It's so detailed, like it literally feels like you're on set filming it with Steve Jackson and coming up and writing it and everything, because he basically filmed everything. He not only filmed the films, but he filmed him filming the films, you know, and then filmed somebody filming that as well. Anyway, so let's roll for our stamina now here. Come on, don't get double one. 8's not bad. 8 is good. I'd say 8 is all right. So we got stamina of 20, which is good. You know, good. 8, 20. You know, skill not so good. But then again, how much fighting do we actually do in these books? Not a lot. So I feel like we can still do it, guys. We can still do it. Right, we're gonna roll for luck. Luck be a lady tonight. How lucky are we? We are maxed out with luck, guys. That is a sexy 6. We have 12 luck. The first test your luck is for free. Guys, we don't have to worry about luck. We're going to luck our way through this book, guys. Come on. So that is basically that. Doesn't give you anything else about anything else. So we know everything we need to know, and the background intro is very short. So you guys know what to do now. Doesn't say we have any money. Don't say we got any moolah, guys. So if you feel like you're lagging behind, just refresh your screen. In fact, you know what? Just refresh or restart the stream every 10 minutes or so, because I do feel like some people, or even maybe the stream itself, kind of gets a bit laggy, even though there's only about 4 to 5 seconds difference between me and what you guys see. But I feel like some people do fall behind. It's all internet dependent, so just refresh the stream so you're not losing out on making a choice, you know. So I need to get The Hobbit as well, because that predates the Lord of the Rings. I haven't got The Hobbit at all, so that one I will probably get on 4K. But yeah, the only reason for me to get a 4K version over, say, a DVD version or a Blu-ray version is if they've got like more extras. They've included other stuff. For me, 4K, it's great, but it ain't the be-all and end-all. You know, they do look better than Blu-ray, but Blu-rays look good enough. DVDs look good enough. Honestly, DVDs on my setup still look like very filmic. I want to try VHS tapes. I want to really push how far I can take this and plug in a VHS tape on my setup and see what the hell that looks like. I've got a VHS somewhere. Don't know. Got them somewhere, but yeah. F's in the chat, guys, if you want me to begin. Let's get the coffee going. Okay, here we go. I'm going to start the time now, so we've got a good, you know, we got a good chance, guys. Okay, signs and portents, wheezes the old fortune teller in a voice that seems to rumble from within the folds of his moth-eaten clock. There are signs and portents here. The cards will speak the truth for you, young warrior. I feel it. You're beginning to wish that you'd never ventured into this dark and smelly tent. The raucous shrieks, the raucous shrieks, and the music and laughter of the fairground sound dim and distant, even though the grubby canvas of the fortune teller's tent is the only thing that separates you from the merrymaking crowds. You could be outside in the sunshine enjoying the midsummer fair instead of waiting in half darkness for the ancient half-elven charlatan to start his card reading act. So we're at a fairground. That's an interesting start for a story. A gust of cold wind swirls around you without disturbing the smoke that clogs the air. Suddenly, apprehensive, you shiver. Ugh. The fortune teller seems momentarily alarmed, but then clears his throat and begins to turn over the cards one by one. Each disc of thick parchment bears a faded picture. The first few are familiar. A shining gemstone, a tramp with his meager belongings tied in a bundle, a skeleton wielding a scythe. The fortune teller's explanation is equally ordinary. The usual patter about a great treasure and going on a long and difficult journey and rolling a double one and dying, and the threat of terrible danger. Since when did your life as an adventurer contain anything but treasure, travel, and danger? You regret giving the old half-elf a gold piece. You now have only 8 gold pieces left in your pocket. Beautiful. We got 8 gold pieces, guys. And there are many more stalls to visit before nightfall. Are we doing like a review of these stalls or something? 1 minute in and still alive. Yeah, we're still alive. Then you notice that the fortune teller has stopped mumbling. He is staring at the card he has just turned over. His hands are shaking. He can't read what he's supposed to. The face of the new card is completely blank and slightly luminous. At last he manages to stutter. It isn't possible. None of these cards is blank. But if this is so, this card represents your destination, soldier. I fear for you. Why? What does it mean? What's my destination? Not in Cool, wails the fortune teller, nor anywhere in this world. You will travel further than any man could imagine, with a perilous burden and a dreadful pursuit at your heels. Go from here. A storm approaches. Prepare yourself. You will be plucked from this world ere long. Great. You step outside to find dark clouds racing across the sky. The clouds are dispersing with the fairground folk are struggling to secure their tents against a rising gale. The paths across the fields to Newburgh are thronged with townspeople scurrying home. You decide to shelter from the storm in the forest, and you set out alone towards the dark line of trees. Hey, Leo M's in the house. How's it going? That's because no rolls yet. So we got a bit of a picture here, guys. I think this picture is to do with us. Pretty sure. It's a nice little picture, isn't it? Kind of looks like the Tower of Destruction cover, doesn't it? Which is the next book we'll be reading, I believe. Yeah, Tower of Destruction, number 46. You hurry towards the forest beneath the billowing black clouds that have turned daylight into dusk. There is a sudden flash of blinding light. You expect a crash of thunder, but instead it's an eerie silence. Then you see something falling out of the sky, tumbling up and fluttering like an autumn leaf. It lands with a thump on the path ahead, and you run towards it. It's a winged creature, unlike any that you've seen before, and it's badly hurt. Its silver, gossamer thin wings and its bright robes have been torn into tattered shreds, and its a small humanoid body bears grievous wounds. So we're in a forest, I'm guessing. Yeah. are we? It stirs as you approach and stares at you with huge round eyes. Yo, round eye. How's it going? With its last reserves of strength, it holds out to you the bundle that it carries and tries to speak. Stranger, I am dying. I have failed. Take this burden from me. Take it! Archmage Globius. He must. Too late, I'm dying. It's literally what it says. Take it and beware the Spectral Stalkers. And then it croaks. Creature dies. So, I mean, you pick up the bundle. It seems to be a hard ball wrapped in a cloth. Will you put the bundle in your backpack and continue on your way, or will you unwrap the cloth and look at the contents? So, winged creatures just died, said, please, you know, these things are after me. Can you take over? Oh, yeah, sure. Yeah, we'll do it. So, we can either put this bundle in our backpack, or we can unwrap the cloth and have a look at the bundle of whatever it is. Could be something good, could be something bad, who knows? Who wants to be the first one to say? Unwrap it, Spellsinger says. Right then, let's do it. Let's unwrap the cloth and look at the contents. Is it like that Pulp Fiction moment where they open the suitcase and it's like gold light inside? Is that what we've got here? We happy? Oh yeah, we happy. You place the bundle on your knees and unfold the cloth to reveal a glowing sphere, not much larger than your fist, so a little bit bigger. So basically like this. Yeah, we're holding this like that. Yeah, it's a glowing sphere, and it's transparent. But so basically, it's a snow globe. At first, you think it's made of glass and transparent, but you peer into it and realize that it's made of nothing, or rather, many things, countless things. You see oceans, deserts, cities, suns, moons and stars, animals and people, and many things that you cannot recognize. He's got the whole world in his hands. He's got the whole world in his hands. He's got the whole world in his hands. Come on, everybody, you know the song. You look and look, and the sphere seems to expand until it is surrounding you, and then it shrinks down to its former size, and you are no longer in the countryside near Nuremberg. Oh no, you are in a vast building on all sides. So we're completely somewhere else, basically. Completely somewhere else. In a vast building, right? On all sides, corridors stretch away as far as your eyes can see. Every wall is lined from floor to ceiling with shelves, and every shelf is full of books. In front of you is a desk over which hangs two signs. One says silence and is completely unnecessary as there is no sound to be heard. The other says inquiries. This is like Beetlejuice, isn't it? I feel like this is Beetlejuice. We've gone on to the dead world, you know. There is a little brass bell, right, on the desk. You cover the strange sphere again and put it in your backpack. Will you now set off to search this strange building, or will you ring the bell? Ding ding, hello. So we can either have a walk around wherever we are now, I don't know, or we can ring the bell and see who comes, you know. What do you reckon, guys? What do you want to do? Ring that bell. Okay. Ding. And then you get a little Christmas song or something. Din 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 din. Oh my god. It's turning into Game of Thrones, guys. This picture relates to us. If that's the person under the desk that we were looking at, it's a dragon. A bloody dragon. The tinkling of the bell is lost in the oppressive silence. You wait, but nothing happens. You're about to walk away when a figure rises behind the desk and puffs a cloud of smoke. You jump back in surprise and alarm, and it's a female dragon is glaring down at you over a pair of wireframe spectacles. Hello. I'm going to tear you apart and your friend. Yes, well, what do you want? This is the library in Limbo, you know. No place for warriors and other troublemakers. Will you show the dragon your sphere? Have a look at this, love. And ask her what the hell it is. Or ask her if she's heard of Globus and the Spectral Stalkers. Know where Globus has come from. Or will you just attack her? What shall we do? Attack the female dragon, ask her if she heard of the Spectral Stalkers, or ask her what the hell the sphere is about. I feel like this is a very nukeable time. We could easily get nuked here. If we piss off a dragon, we're going to get roasted and toasted, guys. So, if we ever have to roll 3 dice, by the way, I'm going to use my 12-sided as one, and then I'll use the other as the third, because I don't want to use mix and match the big and the small. So for 3 dice, we'll use a 12-sided dice. Okay. What shall we do, guys? Ask about the stalkers. Yo, have you ever heard about spectral stalkers? And then the dragon turns to us and says, well, yes, I was backpacking up through the Himalayas one time. Globus, barks the dragon. Spectral stalkers? Never heard of them. But that's not surprising, you know. There are more books in the library in Limbo than there are grains of sand in all the beaches in the macrocosmos. Is this like the quantum realm? Are we like in the quantum realm? Did they invent the bloody quantum realm before Marvel did? You know, well, I mean, probably not, because that probably was invented, what predates these books. But yeah, it sounds like we're in the quantum realm to me. We have at least one copy of every book ever written. And even I can't be expected to read them all. What sort of thing is a globus? Or a spectral stalker? You confess that you don't know what the hell a spectral stalker is, but that globus is an archmage. An archmage? If he's any of note at all, he'll warrant an entry in the directory of wizards. You'll find a copy a couple of miles along that corridor there. You can't miss it. It's a big black book with the word wizards on the spine. Kind of like the Wizards book. In it. Bit of foreshadowing there. Well, run along then. So we can either follow the dragon's pointed finger going down the 3-mile corridor, or we could set off in a completely different direction to explore the vast corridors in this library. So what shall we do? Shall we actually go find that wizard's book, or shall we go check out, you know, see if we can find the book that Ross Geller has put, maybe, you know, where everybody's doing it, you know, find that book. Maybe we could find my books, or the Fighting Fantasy books, see if they're in this library. What shall we do? Explore other corridors. Okay. The library seems to extend forever, basically in all directions, like Labyrinth in that little, you know, tunnel thing. No matter how far you march along any corridor, it just stretches way ahead of you as far as you can see. The only interruptions in the endless lines of books are the sporadic gaps between the shelves, which crisscross passages and stairways that lead to other corridors. Occasionally, the silence is broken by the distant echoes of footsteps or voices. But you meet no one. Sometimes you pause to examine the volumes on the shelves, but only very rarely do you find one that is actually written in a language you understand. Eventually, you plod down a staircase. You find yourself at a point where 4 corridors meet. You have lost all sense of direction. Fuck, I hope we're not going to be trapped in a maze. But this crossroads looks very similar to the place where you arrived in the library, although there is now no inquiries desk. You choose one of the 4 corridors. So, just give me a number, guys, 1 to 4. So, which, because it doesn't actually say like a northeast, southwest, or a corridor 1. So, I'm just saying, I'm numbering these. Give me a number, guys. Corridor 1, corridor 2, corridor 3, or corridor 4. You know, that's what we'll do. Or a book from another world. Number 5, Empire. No, 1 to 4, mate. I know you can't count, but you know. Alright, Empire, welcome in, mate. Thanks for joining. Corridor 4, right, okay, let's go. Welcome in, Emps. Let's go. We're in basically another realm, it seems. And, yeah. I feel like we're going to get lost in a maze now. You know what I mean? You've been walking for what seems like hours, and still the corridor extends before you as far as the eye can see. As you walk, you scan the endless rows of books, and at last one attracts your attention. It is tall as a spear and bound in fine black leather. The title, embossed in gold down the spine, is in your language. Thank God. It's the Wizard's Book. Will you heave the book from its place and open it? That's one option we can do. Or are you so weary of searching this library that you can only think of looking for a way to get out of the library? So do you want to look at the Wizard's Book, or do you want to leave? That's our options, basically. I mean, that was a good, like, literally, I think, corridor 4, I think. Let's have a read. Yeah, let's get out the Wizard Book. A book of wizards? Oh, yes, please. Okay, you grip the massive tome with both hands and tug at it from its shelf. It's a book, yeah? You study the ornate script and realize that the book is an alphabetical list of all types of magicians. So you got David Copperfield, David Blaine, you got Paul Daniels, you got, you know, scrolling down, you got Nicodemus. Coming down here, the book has fallen apart at a page of wizards whose names begin with the letter G, though. And there in front of your nose is the name Globus. You read the following description under Globus. Rank, Archmage. Residence, the Ziggurat World. Comments, one of the most powerful images. Is that supposed to say mages? Images in macrocosmos, but concentrates on research and experimentation. Specialities include summonings and transportation between the various spheres of the macrocosmos, or the quantum realm, basically. Also, theoretical studies of the Alph and the One Sphere, believed to contain all that exists. Also enjoys snowboarding on the weekends. Doesn't say that, I just added that. You ponder these words. You must assume that the ball you are carrying is the elf, or the Aleph, sorry. A-L-E-P-H. Let's call it the Alf. Okay. Perhaps the flying creature that gave it to you was caught by the Spectral Stalkers while trying to take it to Globus. What will you look for now? A way out of the library, or someone who can tell you more about Alf? What shall we do, guys? Should we have a walk around this library, or should we just go and leave the library? Oh, is today the 23rd, mate? It is. Today's the 23rd, Empire. You still up for what we planned? Read the wizard book. Oh, was that an old one, Leo M? Because I don't think that's one of the options, is it? That must have been previous. So it's find someone to help. Okay, let's go find somebody who can tell us more about the the alphabet. You walk for hours between towering shelves laden with dusty volumes. No matter how far you go, the corridor extends without end, and as far as the eye can see. At last, however, in a gap between two sets of shelves, you find a door. It is slightly ajar, and the notice on it announces Office of the Artifact Specialist. Please knock and wait. Below the notice is a heavy brass knocker. And below that, set into the wooden beams of the door, are a circular piece of glass and a brass plate with a narrow slit. Will you push the door open and walk through the doorway? Lift the knocker and knock on the door? Or turn away and try and leave the library? So we're up against the door, we can just push it open, walk through, or we can do a rat-a-tat-tat with the knocker, or we can leave the library. What can we do? Knock the knocker. Get the knocker out. Okay. Lift the knocker and knock on the door. A knock, a rat-a-tat-tat. Let me in, you big fat rat. Hello? Avon calling? The knocker raps loudly on the heavy wooden door. You wait for a reply, but nothing happens. The sudden appearance of a light behind the little glass circle suddenly happens, and a gravelly voice, the door itself, speaks to you. You are a human warrior. You possess 8 coins of gold. Please insert 4 coins into the slot to enter. Basically. Will you follow the instructions and put 4 gold pieces, which is half of what we have, into the slot of the door before going through it? Or will you ignore this voice and just go through the door anyway? Or will you abandon the idea completely and get out of the library? What shall we do? Knock and run? Like it! So we can either put half our money into the slot. Charge in, Spellsinger says. Right, so forget the money. Ignore the voice. It's obviously a scam. We'll just walk in and hope that pig's blood doesn't drop on us from above. You place your hand on the door and push, but it will not budge. Determined to move it, you put your shoulder against the center of the door, and as you do, the brass knocker descends onto your head. Lose 2 points of stamina. We just got knocked. As you fall to the ground, clutching your throbbing cranium, God, you hear the low voice saying, You are a human warrior. You possess 8 coins of gold. Please insert 4 coins into the slot to enter. Will you pay the door its entrance fee of 4 gold pieces and then push it again? Or will you abandon this and leave the library? What do you want to do? Do you want to pay to get in? It's bloody charge fee here. Do we get a stamp on our wrist, so we can get back in later for free? Or we can just go, do you know what? I saw this fucking library. Let's go. Pay the money, Leo M says. Right, let's pony up the dough then. So we're going to pop in 4 gold pieces, leaving us 4 gold pieces. We're going to slit this, put the money in the slit. Ching, ching, ching. And then we wrap the knocker again, which has fallen onto our head. The door swings open and you step across the threshold into the room. Without warning, though, a bucket of water falls from the top of the door and you're drenched in bloody pig's blood, honestly. And the bucket hits you on the head as it falls. Lose 1 stamina point. Like, what the hell's going on? You shake the water out of your eyes and see that you're in a small room full of dismantled machines. A big man, so tall that he must that he almost has to stoop in his low-ceilinged room, is leaning against a high-backed chair and laughing so much that his eyes are full of water, as are yours. Twat.
Oh dear, he guffs. I don't think anybody fell for that old bucket above the door trick these days. That's cheered me up no end. You look like a drowned rat. I'm Wayland.
Wayland Yutani, by any chance, mates? Is this an Aliens, crossover here moment?
In case you're wondering, and you're obviously a visitor, where do you hail from?
Will you attack this sniggering practical joker? Or will you restrain your anger and reply to his question? What shall we do? We just got drenched in water because we opened the door, and this dude thinks he's a trickster. He thinks he's a laugh-a-lot. Sir Laugh-a-lot. So, Spellsinger just says reply to him. So we're gonna calm ourselves down. We're not gonna get upset. We're gonna count to 5, and then we'll talk to him.
You're from Cool,
says Wayland.
Cool on the world of Titan. I know of it, of course. Primitive technology compared to the worlds I could name, but an interesting place all the same. You are wet, aren't you? Sorry about that. I just can't resist a joke.
Hey, do you want a joke, mate? I'll follow you into the John and watch you have a leak.
Have a swig of this. It'll dry you out in no time.
He hands us a drink. Wayland's hand dwarfs the bottle that he offers you. Will you accept this offer, or will you decline to drink from the bottle? And Wayland is not offended. So it already tells us that he's not going to be offended if we don't. That's a little bit weird. For chat first, stab later. So, yeah, do you want to accept his little drink, or are we going to say, yeah, I'm all right, mate. I've got water all over me, thanks.
What shall we do?
What shall we do?
And he's just going, where do you want it?
Greg says, let's have a drink. Yeah, I'll have a drink, mate. Yeah, I am a bit thirsty. Thank you very much. Well, I'll accept your offer, a gracious host, for a drink of your wet stuff. 3. You put the bottle to your lips and take a mouthful of bitter liquid. Before you can spit it out, Wayland slaps you between the shoulder blades and you swallow it.
Wonderful stuff, explains Wayland. See? You're dry as a bone already.
He is right. Somehow the drink has evaporated the water that had been soaked into your clothes and hair. Ah.
Keep the bottle, there's plenty more where that came from. It's called Cicator, and it's one swig will keep any liquid off your person. Might come in very handy if you come across any more practical jokers like me.
So are there a lot of wankers in this world, mate? If you decide to keep the bottle, remember to note it. Cicatar. Do you want to keep... So don't forget, guys, we have a backpack of 7 places. Like, we can only hold 7 items in our backpack. Do you want to keep this bottle of self-drying liquid in our backpack, taking up 1 space for future use? Or should we just go, yeah, you're all right, mate, I'll dry naturally, with time and heat, Take it, yeah? Okay, so we got Cicator, whatever it's called. So we'll take that. And yeah, cheers, mate. I'll put that in my pocket. I may come in handy if I ever fall into a lake. If we fell into a lake and we drank it, would it completely dry out the lake, or would it just dry us out? Because as it dries us out, it continually wets the lake will wet us. Excuse me. So would that mean it would be completely dry out the lake, or am I overthinking that one?
Well, sit yourself down, says Wayland. No, not there. That's the automatic impaler. Sit over here, that's right. Now then, what can I be doing for you?
You unwind the cloth that covers the small ball that we have. Grey clouds are covering the ever-changing landscapes in the sphere, but Wayland recognizes it instantly, and for several moments he sits open-mouthed in amazement.
By my hammer and anvil, he mutters at last, and by all the microparticles in the macrocosmos, it's the elf. The one and only sphere of all the spheres. There in your hand, warrior, you hold everything. Everything that exists everywhere.
Alright, so it's worth a bit, is it, mate?
Except here in Limbo, of course. But everything else, everywhere else. Wise men have hunted this object since the birth of the universe. You should take it away from here. The elf cannot reside in Limbo. But I beg you, tell me, how did you come by it?
eBay, mate. I bought it off eBay for a tenner. You know? Should have charged him 5 gold pieces to have a look at it. Yeah, if I'd have known that it was this money, hey, give us 100 gold pieces. I got something under my cloth here. You're really gonna want to see. So we've got all the universes except for Limbo Land in our pocket. We're carrying the fate of the universe. If we destroyed this thing, all the universes would be dead. Done. And it's just Limbo Land that exists, which has got every single book that's ever been written in it. It's like a giant library. Hey, John Atkinson, how's it going? Hey, mate, don't worry. You haven't missed a single thing. We're half an hour in, but you haven't missed a thing. All right? So, yeah, we basically... So he says... How did you get it? Where did you get this from? You know? So delivered by Amazon. If you want to leave the library in Limbo, Wayland allows you to return to the book-lined corridor, or you can tell Wayland how you received the elf. So we can tell him how we got this thing, or we can just leave, or go at least back to the book-lined corridor at least. What shall we do, guys? Should we brag and say, hey, I got this on the sly, you know? Tell him, yeah? Might as well tell him. He might give us some information, actually, as to maybe that person that gave it to us, you know? Are they trusted, or are we in deep doo-doo? Let's see here. Wayland listens to your story, then ponders silently for some time.
I'm an artifacts expert, he says at last, and strictly speaking, the elf isn't an artifact. It's not anything, really, on account of it being everything, if you see what I mean.
Yeah, I see what you mean, mate.
But that as it may, your real problem is the Spectral Stalkers. This fellow Globus may be anxious to take delivery of this here elf, but clever folk have been looking for this item for more years than there are books in this library.
Which has every book, millions of books. So basically since the dawn of time, they've been looking for the sphere. Well, they must be shit at it because they've never come across it in the billions of years. So they must not be that good, you know, at finding it.
And waiting a while longer won't hurt anybody. But those spectral stalkers, they don't sound as if they're inclined to wait. Once you're away from Limbo, use the elf to travel. It will take you where it wants to go.
Well, hang on. Will it It'll take you where it wants to go. Will it take us where I want to go? Or like where we want to go? Or it'll take us where it wants to go? How does it know where we want to go? I want to go to Pizza Hut. Well, sorry, you're going to Mackey's. Like, no, I wanted a pizza. Like, how does it know which, what, like, man, I don't know.
Keep moving and the stalkers won't find you. Also, look for signs and portents. Round the signs will be like the elf itself. And if you don't understand them, let the elf take you to the sage Semian Cryptologosophos. Crypto in the 90s. Cryptoglyphos. Cryptographus? I'm just going to call it Cryptographus. He'll explain them, but keep moving to avoid danger. And now, you must leave Limbo.
Waylon points to a doorway engraved with the word, "Get the fuck out." Dazed by his words, you step through it. Okay, I'll go through the exit. What shall we go? On the other side of the doorway, you stumble down a step and into a vaulted corridor. At the other end is a doorway identical to the one you've just stepped through. A counter runs along one side of the corridor, and behind it is a room containing rows of empty hat stands. Asleep on the counter is an old dwarf. He opens one eye as you approach. Basically. "Good day, I suppose," he grumbles. "All right, Warwick, how's it going? And I hope you had a fruitful visit to the library in Limbo. Don't bother to tell me, I don't really care. If you left a cloak or a hat on your way in, don't try asking me for it. This is the way out. And I haven't got anything of anybody's. There's the door from nowhere to somewhere." Nowhere! Guys, nowhere. That was in the Endgame film, wasn't it? Honestly, man, this is like... Even Marvel are pulling, I think. Or did nowhere in Marvel universe exist before Endgame film? I don't know, man. That's the door from nowhere to somewhere. All right, we're going somewhere. But where does it go, mate? Exactly, you ask. Exactly anywhere you like, of course. If you want to go somewhere particular, it helps to think about it while you're walking through the door. You stride up to the doorway and step across the threshold. Do you fill your mind with thoughts of your home world cool? Do you try to imagine the ziggurat world? Or do you think about your mysterious burden, the elf, and rely on its influence to choose your destination? Guys, before you say anything about one of those three options, what would you think of to transport you somewhere? I want to hear what you say first, okay? The never-ending story, yeah. What would you say, guys, to transport you wherever you want to go, yeah? I want to hear what you guys have to say first, and then we'll make the decision in the book. So, guys, everybody, fill the chat with what you would be thinking of to transport you to somewhere, all right? Can't wait to hear what you guys are going to come up with. Give him a cup of tea. Tell him. Might as well. Oh, yeah. Yeah, as we start to go through the door, he goes, Sir, can't go through that door. Everybody's writing a long bloody, I would choose to think of, I'll tell you what I would choose to think of. I'd choose Rockstar Studios bloody head offices where they're making GTA 6. Transport me there, mate. I want to see what's going on. What are they doing over there? Like, where's the game? Where's the trailer? That's what I'd be thinking of. Transport me to Rockstar North. So where would you guys think of? Also, refresh your screens if you're that far behind, guys. You know? Or like... has the internet gone or something? Hello? 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 Home sweet home, Greg says. There's no place like home. Thank you, Dorothy. Greg will go to Kansas by the sounds of it. So while people are writing that, let's have a look at these offers here. It says here, fill your mind with thoughts of your home world. Cool. So like Greg says, home. That's one option. Or we can try to imagine the ziggurat world. How can you imagine a world that you've never been to? So that's the second option. Liz Hurley's bathroom. I don't think Liz Hurley is going to look as hot as she did in the 90s, mate. Or do you think about your mysterious bird and the elf and rely on its influence to choose your destination? So we can go home, the ziggurat world, or let Alf choose. Which of those three options, guys, shall we do? Alf, ziggurat, or home?
Make your choice now.
Jet from Gladiator's bathroom. Greg says gotta be home. Let's go home. Come on then, let's go home. We're going to cool. We think of home. Does it actually transport you there, or does it just change your reality to make it look like you're there? I guess time will tell. Oh my god, it's Phil Collins. There's a picture. I don't know if this relates to what I'm about to read, but that picture, it looks like Phil Collins. There's something in the air tonight, guys. Phil Collins. Right, you've arrived home. Boom, we're at the continent of cool now. The trees, the landscape, the air is very familiar. You recognize the countryside you are standing on, which is a road along which you have marched many times. But everything has changed. The fields are a wilderness of heath and bracken. Farm buildings ruined and almost smothered under brambles. The road has deteriorated into a muddy, rotted track. You walk along it until you can see the bridge over the river
Best yep.
Wow.
Rain Campus has just boarded the plane.
Make it rain. Thank you very much, Rain, for that. Thank you for the... I don't know if you're watching us now or if you just hit the subscribe from something else, but thank you for your subscription, mate. I do need to set up as well when people do what you call it. Oh, actually, sorry, I forgot to mention this. Spellsinger this morning before we went live renewed his membership for 24 months. Thank you very much for that, Spellsinger. I forgot that actually came up. Did we just become best friends? Yeah, so cheers for that, mate. And Rain as well, thanks for joining as a first class passenger. So yeah, we walk along the road until you can see the bridge on the river Jebel Vater. But the bridge is broken, and only a stump of stonework remains perched above the flowing waters. On this outcrop stands a new building, grim and battle-mented. However, you see a circular inn sign swinging like a rusty gate from a bracket on the wall, and lights flickering below the arrow slit in the upper story. Basically, it's a shithole. A heavy-built man is standing outside the only door. So this actually does relate to what I'm reading. So there is something in the air tonight. Phil Collins is outside waiting for us, you know. A heavily built man by the name of Phil is standing outside the only door as you approach. He draws his sword, which is a microphone or a couple of drumsticks. Will you prepare to fight Phil, or will you raise your open hands and gesture of peace to go, yo, mate, come on, studio, and then hug him, innit? What do you want to do, guys? Do you want to fight Phil, or do you want to hug Phil? What do you reckon? And if we're back, I guess, back at this place, I guess. No, we're here. Peace to Phil. Yeah, give him a hug, yeah? Let's give him a hug. Yo, Philly. What's happening, me bro? Give me some love. I can't dance 'cause I can't hug. The big man is jovial, but retains his grip on his sword. Alright, easy, mate. Welcome, stranger, he booms, to the inn of the ghostly visitors. Don't be alarmed by the name of my fine establishment, it's just my little joke. You know that this part of the world? Then you'll have heard of the stories. Folks say that this place is haunted, that people disappear mysteriously in the night. A lot of old wives' tales. Don't believe a word of it. Anyway, this is the only inn for leagues around, so you won't have much of a choice. You can take the ferry across the river in the morning. Now get inside and go upstairs. I've got a room ready for you. He points his sword at you threateningly. It is true that you need somewhere to stay for the night, but the innkeeper's attitude makes you suspicious and angry. What's going on, Philly boy? Do you decide to fight Phil after all, or will you accept his offer and shift it inside? So do we take him on face value, basically? It's Phil from Beverly Hills Cop. Phil? Who's Phil from Beverly Hills Cop? There's no Phil in Beverly Hills Cop film. Who's Phil? Mate, you're going to have to clarify that one, Rhymester. Or Rhymester, sorry. Who's Phil from Beverly Hills Cop? That's got me, that has. Spellsinger says accept his offer, so we will accept his offer. But I need clarification, Rhymester, on who Phil is. Or are you thinking of what's his name from the art gallery? Right, okay, I'm with you now. Phil, you changed, man. You changed. Right, I'm with you now. Right, well, what scene was that now? Was that in the men's club? When he throws him over the food? When he throws... Honestly, guys, have you seen that scene in Beverly Hills Cop when Eddie Murphy goes into that gentleman's club and he gets... and that one of the henchmen throws him over the table? If you pause it, it looks like Richard Pryor is playing Eddie Murphy, honestly, and he's the one. Oh no, sorry, it's when Eddie Murphy throws the other guy over the table. It's the strip joint. Oh right, yeah. No, that's the sequel. That's Beverly Hills Cop 2, isn't it? Oh no, yeah, they go to the strip joint. Yeah, that's it. Phil, man, you changed, baby. What's going on? I'm with you now. Sorry. Thanks for that. Thanks for that, mate. Yeah, that is a good deep cut. That was, man. Phil, man, Phil, baby. Hey, you. Hey, I don't know what you're talking about. Get the hell out of here, man. You changed, baby. You changed. Don't know who you are. Right, yeah, cheers. Okay, so you duck through the low doorway. You enter the strip club. I mean, you enter the inn. A gust of wind slams the door behind you. So, I mean, boom. Slam the door behind us. In the darkness, you can make out tables. You can make out chairs. The room seems to be deserted. And there's no sound to be heard. Whoops-a-daisy. No sound to be heard. There are several doors, and you see a staircase which you decide to climb until you reach a landing lit by a candle, which there are several doors. All but one are locked. You open the unlocked door and find yourself in a pleasant bedroom with a balcony overhanging the river. Clean blankets have been laid on the rush mattress, and there is a basin of fresh water. Supper is waiting on the table with bread, cold meats, cheese, a flagon of ale. The food looks wholesome. Will you eat some? Or will you be like, nah, I don't really want to eat this food. Like, you're suspicious of it, you know? Do you want to have a little bit of cut meat, cheese, olives, you know, a little bit of the spread that's been put out? Or will you just leave it alone? Say, no thanks. Yeah, we're too suspicious to eat that. We've got our own food anyway, guys. If we need to, we can eat our own food. So, yeah. It's alright, I've got some bickies in my pocket. If I get peckish. As hungry as you are, well, we're not that hungry. You dare not risk eating the innkeeper's food. If you do have provisions of your own in your backpack, you can eat a meal and restore up to 4 points of stamina. So you guys let me know if that's what you want to do. You lie down on the mattress and you begin to drift to sleep slowly. And you're lulled by the soft lapping of the river beneath your room. I guess we slowly drift off to sleep. We're asleep now. That's it. You wake up. Everything is dark. The candle has blown out and there is a hint of daylight in the chinks of the shutters. These glasses are pointless, I think. A cold wind carrying with it the smell of the river makes you shiver and you sit up. And then you see them. A pair of luminous eyes is staring at you from the middle of the floor. Just a pair of eyes. That's creepy. You remember the name of the inn. Ghostly Visitors. Oh man, it's Derek Acora and his crew have turned up. Sam, can you hear? I can feel it. Are you being watched by a ghost? Or, well, being watched by a pair of eyes at least. For several seconds you remain as still as the watching eyes are. But you have to decide what to do now. Will you throw yourself at the intruder? Take me! Whatever it is, or will you keep very still and watch what it does next? What shall we do, guys? Shall we remain frozen and go with a pair of eyes are just hovering there looking at me? Or shall we leap to attack, I guess, at the intruder? Stay very still, Leo says. Who's read this book before, guys? Like, I've read it, but I don't remember any of this shit. Has anybody else read it? Second pair of eyes, green eyes, appear. Oh my god, it's the Hulk. A second pair of green eyes appear, also at floor level as well. And as your sight adjusts to the gloom, you can see that both pairs of eyes are watching you from a crack in the floorboards. So somebody's beneath our floor watching us. This sounds like the that film, bloody People Under the Stairs, doesn't it? Oh, this is creepy. Oh, somebody's into voyeurism, basically. As you move to defend yourself, the trap door is suddenly thrown open. So there's a trap door in the floor. Suddenly thrown open, and two goblins jump into the room. Two goblins like this. The innkeeper. Oh, hang on, wait. This is a goblin speaking now, so let me get my goblin. Innkeeper said the traveller would be drugged, hisses one. They draw sharp blades and advance towards you slowly. You stand in a corner so that you can fight them one at a time. I guess we have our sword with us, like we sleep with it or something, like a weirdo. Your night vision is worse than theirs. Temporarily reduce your skill by 1 point for the duration of this fight. Guys, our skill is 7, and we have to go down to 6 during this fight. Now, the two goblins, guys, don't worry. The first goblin has a skill of 5, so we still beat him. The second one has a skill of 6, so that'll be an interesting fight. Their stamina is 4 and 5. So I feel like we can do this. I really do. We're the big dice. The goblins are the little dice. Now, during this round, the goblin has to reduce his roll by 1 point. Okay? Ooh. So we got an 8, and the goblin got a 6. So 2 points. We've cut him in half, basically. He's down to 2 points of stamina from 4. Okay, I feel like we can do this. I feel like it's easy peasy lemon squeezy. I really do. Can't really push that any further. Here we go. Boom. Oh, no, that's boom for them. So he rolled a 9, and we rolled a 7. So we lose 2 points of stamina. Goblins are fierce. They're short and fierce. We've got 15 stamina, so we've got plenty of stamina compared to these goblins, who this first one is on 2. So we's good. We's good. We's all good, baby. So we rolled an 8, and it rolled a 4, which becomes a 3. That's 5. He's dead. He's gone. We smeared the goblin all over the wall. That's the first one done. Now we've got number 2. Now this is where we're both as even as each other. Oh, hang on. It says if you're still alive after 3 attack rounds. Well, how many attack rounds have we done? That was the 3rd attack round, wasn't it? So yeah. If you're still alive after 3 attack rounds. So yeah, he lost. We lost on the first one. He lost on the second, and then that was the 3rd. So yeah. So I don't think we have to fight the second goblin by the looks of it. If you are still alive after 3 attack rounds. Okay. So right. We don't have to continue fighting. The goblin that you've wounded, well, that we smeared, begins to gibber in terror, and his comrade turns, looks up, and screams. The hideous shape of a spectral stalker is forming in the air above you. Something in the air tonight, guys, definitely. The glittering orbs of its eyes search back and forth, and below them the writhing mass of tentacles seems to be sensing your scent in the air. Add 1 point to your trail score. So we got 1 point of trail, guys. The goblins fling themselves through the trapdoor. You hear a splash as they land in the river. The spectral stalker becomes more solid with every moment that passes. Test your trail score. Roll 3 dice. So this is it. So we've only just had 1 trail. So testing our trail score now is definitely not going to go under. It's going to be over. And over is bad. No, over is what you want, sorry. So, okay, we got 1 trail score. We rolled 3 dice, and we rolled an 11. So, roll 3 dice. If the total is equal to or more than your trail score, turn. If it's how can you ever be less? This is the first time you've added trail. That's mental, that is. Right. So it is more, which is good in this sense, I think. It's a good thing that we have above our trail score. So weird. The spectral stalker has failed to find you. You heave a sigh of relief as the hideous creature shakes its great booty or head in frustration and begins to dissolve into the air once more as it fly away. It's gone. Shivering with fear, you lie awake until the grey light of dawn appears in the cracks beneath the shutters. And 3, 2, 1, you're back. Hey guys, for anybody who likes the Little Britain, I heard that they're coming back to make some more stuff. Don't know when, but hey, Ramsey's here, Ram Street. How's it going? Are we dead yet, mate? No, it's been an hour and we're still alive. In the morning, you throw open the shutters of your room. The wind seems very colder now, so it is early morning at least. All right. Book jumps around a lot, and there's a whole load of stuff you can do before. Yeah, it's a very. You know. The wind seems colder now, carrying with it a flurries of sleet and hail. You collect your belongings. You go downstairs. The inn is deserted. There's no mofo around. You search the cupboards and cellars and find a sword that seems sharp and well balanced. You can keep it if you need a weapon. Well, we've still got our weapon, so we don't need to trade it in. It is not until you are about to leave the inn that you find the most interesting item. Pinned to the back of the door is the innkeeper's license. Why is that interesting for us? Granted by the Margrave of Newburgh and dated 400 years after the date when you found the elf. It's been 400 years since we went to the Limbo Land? Is that what it's trying to say? Wow. Shaking your head in disbelief, you step out into the freezing rain. So it's raining. Get a bit of rain on the go. We get out into the rain. Step out into the freezing rain. The door slams behind you and shaken from its bracket. The inn sign falls from the outside wall and barely misses your head. You jump backwards and look down at the crude painting of two ghostly figures. The sign is circular, which seems unusual for the inn sign, and uncannily reminiscent of the shape of the elf. It is small enough to fit in your backpack. What, taking the sign off the door? The sign that was hanging, sorry, not the sign off the door, but the sign that was hanging? Perhaps you should pick it up and take it with you. Guys, do you want to steal the sign from the inn and put it in our backpack? That's mad. What shall we do, guys? You guys want the sign? Just randomly take their sign. It nearly hit us on the head, so... Take it, alright? So that's going to take up a space in the book. Sorry, that's going to take up a space in our backpack. So, in sign, I guess we'll call it. So we got 2 spaces taken up there in our backpack. So we pop it in our backpack. Cool. 400 years in your future seems an unwelcoming place and very wet, I must say. You bid it farewell and you use the elf to go somewhere else. So we're being transported somewhere. Taking the glowing sphere from your backpack, you gaze into its infinite depths. Instantly you are enthralled by the numberless panoramas that swirl within the elf, each scene impossibly small and yet perfectly real. The longer you gaze, the more you can see men and monsters, humble villages and glittering cities. So we're just, yeah. Rolling landscapes and shimmering planets. You feel yourself being enveloped by the elf and transported within it. Yeah? That's supposed to signify like us being transported. So it says here roll 1 die. So we have to roll a die. When can we leave the Y-shaped stick? 1. We rolled a 1. If you roll an even number, turn to this page, and if you roll an odd number, which we have done, turn to this page. Now, why is the number 1 considered odd? It stands alone. It surely can be an even or an odd number, if you think about it. I mean, it's supposed to be divisible by itself for 3, isn't it? So, I guess that's why. You're standing in a flat meadow. Okay? We're in a flat meadow, divided by lines of flags into 49 squares. Most of the squares are empty, but 6 contain the bodies of slain warriors. You are holding a long steel-pointed pike and quickly find... This is like Quantum Leap, the TV show, isn't it? Oh boy. And quickly find that you cannot loosen your grip on the weapon. At your back, extending from your heels to the crown of your head, you feel the weight of a plate of iron held in place by straps across your shoulders, chest and thighs. The front of your body is unprotected. Your only garment is a white tunic. You see that 4 of the bodies are wearing identical tunics. The other 2 bodies wear black tunics. Apart from you, there are 2 other surviving warriors in white tunics. They look dispirited and battle weary. So we've just transported into Gladiator, the film, the beginning battle sequence. Apart from you, there are 2 other surviving warriors. 5 warriors in black tunics appear ferocious and jubilant. Each warrior is standing as you are in a separate square, and each wears a plate of solid metal on his back. You gotta go again. Take care, Ram Street. Thanks for coming by. Hey, Moonmat's here. How's it going, mate? Who's still alive? Yeah. You placed your last pawn, Darawina. A male voice booms across the sky. And still my forces outnumber yours. Are you beginning to regret that you chose this method of resolving our dispute? Soon I will win, and you and all your lands will be mine. Resign yourself to it, my soon-to-be wife. So, okay. I think this picture has got something to do with us as well. I don't really understand what the hell's going on here. Gladiator is a movie you have to review. I do have it. I could. I have actually watched it recently, so I suppose I could throw it under the review. I'll make a note of that, mate. As a request, Gladiator. Yeah. Oh, now in a couple of days, I want to know what the hell that means. Yeah, chessboard, isn't it? Is that? Yeah, we're on a chessboard. Oh, mate, we've been transported to a game of chess, have we? That's ace. A woman voice echoes somewhere above the clouds. Never, bruv, Bernard, she says in a voice quivering with rage. I still have a chance to win. You deceive yourself, Daruina, the male voice drawls. But I will humor you. Let us play on. One of your pawns must move. We're on a chessboard. How cool is this? Don't be impatient, bro, the woman's voice replies. I have first to teach my latest recruit the rules of battle. The clouds part and a ray of sunlight illuminates the square that you occupy. Darwina's voice... This sounds like a Monty Python sketch. I feel like we're in a Monty Python sketch. Darwina's voice explains to you the rules of this strange game. Turn to page 81. Oh, right, yeah. I thought... Oh, no, guys. This is a proper... This is getting involved now, guys. All right? We've got... Oh, fucking hell, man. We've got this page here, right, that we got to go through. We got that page there that we got to go through, okay? Says here, you're the last pawn to be placed on the field, you hear Darwina say. And now the rules of battle change. The winning side, white or black, is the one with more surviving warriors when no more can be killed in battle. Each side plays in turn, and in one turn only a single pawn may move, but all pawns from that side may attack. So like chess.
A pawn may move one square ahead or either side. You may not move backwards, or diagonally, or into a square occupied by another living warrior of either side. During one side's turn, the other side's pawns cannot attack. They can only defend themselves by turning their backs on their attackers, an effective defense because of the armor. Attacking pawns can attack all enemy pawns and all adjacent squares, including those diagonally adjacent. Therefore, as you can see, a pawn attacked from one side I feel like I'm watching some sort of training video that companies give you, when you join up, and you have to go through like a series of workshops. Therefore, as you can see, a pawn attacked from one side is invulnerable, but a pawn attacked from two opposite sides is doomed to die. Doomed to die. Now to battle my white pawns. We can yet win this game. So it also says examples of play. One, it says here black pawn. So it's basically showing you just legal moves and illegal. So it's basically chess. Does anybody not know how to play chess, guys? It's the TV show Nightmare. Imagine that. I remember that. I used to watch that. The CGI infested, the dude with the thing on his head, and he just walks through what people tell him to. One left, right, up, Yeah, I used to watch that. That was ace. Spellsinger says eat a meal. Right, let's eat a meal, guys. We've only got one left after this, by the way. And that gave us 4, so we're up to 19. Okay. Although it wasn't in capitals, but Leo did put it in capitals afterwards, so I got carried away there. Yeah, is it draft chess or drafts or checkers? I mean, yeah, this looks like a game of chess, guys. Positions of the pawns are shown in the diagram opposite. You are the white pawn marked with a cross on the square numbered F4 position. So this is us here, guys. That little, okay, make a note of everything you need to know here. We're here, F4, okay? So your white comrades appeal to you for guidance. Only one of us can move in each turn, says the warrior on square G6, which is the white dude. This is mental. The white dude here, okay? This guy here is asking for our help, who is surrounded by the black dudes. This is highly racial. So I am almost surrounded. Oh man, I'm getting lost here, guys. I picked the wrong day to quit amphetamines. If I don't move, the black warrior next to you will move alongside me and I'll be slaughtered. So we have to move the white guy, alright? Because there's 2 black dudes who are going to nail him. No, says the warrior on square E6. So the one that's above, yeah? So guys, here's how it goes. We're here, and our mate is here, surrounded by these 2 dudes here. And this person up here goes no. After we say you have to move, that one goes no. I should be the one to move. If I move forward to D6, which is up ahead, okay, so he's saying if this one moves up here, it would be better, okay? We'll have these black swine diagonally between us. Or, he continues more thoughtfully, if you move to your left F3 to keep out of danger, we can still finish off one black warrior between me and the other fellow. So, if he moves to F3, in other words, if we move to F3. So they're waiting for our decision now, guys. Good luck on this one, I tell you. Traegard was the GOAT. They are waiting for your decision.
If you decide that the white warrior on square G6 should move to G5, that's one option. Do you agree that the warrior on E6 should move to D6? That's the second option. If you think that you should be the one to move, that's the third option. And that's it. 3 options. So there's 3 white dudes on this chessboard. Which one do you want to move? Do you want us to move? Do you want the one above us to go to D5? Or D6 rather, sorry. Or do you want the one below to go to G5? So the one below us, the one above us, or us. Which white dude is moving? Alright? This is such a racist game, I feel. I don't know. No one's going to put an option forward for this, are they? Oh, hang on a second here. Have I just been... Oh, mate, honestly, I thought I'd been turned off then for a second because my preview wasn't moving, but it was because I was reading something for ages. Right. Oh, I forgot to have a biscuit when we had a meal then. I get a biscuit, guys. You get a ginge out. Can you show us the map again? Oh, what? 1 second, caller. I'm getting a bicky out. Here is the map, guys. So basically what's happening is either we can move here to this square, this dude can move above, or this dude here can move across. Which one of the 3 white ones is best to move? The one below us, or the one above us? Okay? There you go. Greg says take the final option. He was the first one to say it. The final option is the G5 move. The white warrior should move G6 to G5. Let's see what happens. Oh, hang on, wait. Do you mean the final option that I read out, or the final dude below? So the final option is actually... I read them out in a different order than they are in the book. Hang on, Greg, which one did you mean, mate? Did you mean how I read them out, or how they appear in the book? Because I made it so it goes us, the one above, or the one below. But in the book, it's literally the other way around. So are you talking about the book, or the way that I said it? I need clarification on that one, mate. Please repeat the options. I've said them. Right. We've got us, we can move to our left. The dude above us can move 1 square up. Or the dude below us can also move to his left. There are your 3 options. Okay? Who's moving? I say move the guy above us. Okay? That's the guy going to no. The guy above us is moving to D6. Yeah, D6. Okay. Here we go. I'm gonna guess we're gonna get killed by looking at the pieces here. We'll soon find out. Your white comrade on square E6 accepts your decision and moves forward to D6. He turns to face you. The black warrior on square E5 suddenly realizes that he is between you and your white comrade, and he turns back and forth in a futile attempt to use his armor to shield himself from attack from 2 opposite sides. As if it has a life of its own, your pike descends to a horizontal position and lunges repeatedly at the black warrior. Your comrade's weapon does the same. In an instant, the black warrior is dead. There are no more attacks that can successfully be made by the white side. Now it is the turn of the black side to make a move and attack. Test your luck. Well, we're instantly lucky because we got a luck of 12. We don't even have to roll. So we automatically win that one. So that was a good option there, Greg. Well done. Oh no, Leo M made the decision. Well done on that one. One of the black warriors moves to the white end of the field. The white warrior on square G6 is surrounded and killed by the combined attacks of the 3 black warriors around him. I don't understand this because we were opposed diagonally to one of the black guys. He could have killed us because you can attack diagonally. Okay? Or you can only attack front. Oh, I don't know. I don't know why they didn't nuke us then. The white warrior on square G6 is surrounded by killed. Burad has won. The sky echoes with his harsh laughter, and you can also hear Drowena's sobs of despair. You find that you can at last release your hold on the pike, and the heavy armor slips from your back. You wander to the edge of the field where you find your backpack and your clothes, and soon you're ready to depart. And you decide to use the elf to travel somewhere else. Man, that was a weird little sidekick, wasn't it? That was mental. Have a game of chess. That was like Harry Potter. That was like that scene in Harry Potter where they are on the chessboard in full scale. Man, everyone's ripping from Fighting Fantasy, isn't it? It's the place to be, isn't it? Oh, hang on. Are we back? We're all good. I think one has to be on each side to attack in any angle. Ah, okay. You take the elf from your backpack, cupping it between your hands, and you're instantly mesmerized by the countless tiny visions which swarm within its infinite depths. The longer you gaze, the more you can see farmlands and deserts, monstrous creatures, and vast gleaming machines. Rainbow-ringed planets and spiraling galaxies of stars. You feel yourself being enveloped by the elf and transported within it. Roll 1 die. We rolled a 5, which is an odd number. So let's go check out what we got. I hope this isn't like a, a rotating series of events. That would be unfortunate. Gasps of astonishment, then laughter, cheers, and finally applause. You've appeared on stage in front of an audience inside an open-fronted cabinet like a sentry box. You step forward. This is like Quantum Leap, this is, isn't it? Oh boy. You step forward and are greeted with another burst of applause. Hooray! Thank you, thank you. The stage is in fact a roofed wagon open along one side. Standing next to you is the conjurer, a tall, saturnine figure in a black cloak, and his assistant, a young woman dressed as a cat. Before you is the audience, a crowd of peasants, still open-mouthed in amazement at your appearance. At the back of the throng stands an open carriage containing a plump nobleman who is staring not at you, but at the empty seat beside him. Even the conjurer seems surprised to see you, but he recovers and addresses his audience.
Ladies and gentlemen, a double miracle. Not only have I spirited the Baron's beautiful daughter from her seat in this coach, I have also caused this warrior to appear in the back of the magic cabinet.
Taking credit for our doing, this dude is.
Have no fear, my lord. Your daughter will be restored to you in just a few moments. Meanwhile, my assistant will escort this warrior backstage. Felis, take our visitor away.
And then the cat lady comes around. Meow, meow, meow. His assistant, as graceful as the animal she resembles, draws aside the curtain at the rear of the stage and beckons to you. Meow, 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 meow. And in that moment, you glimpse her long, furry tail. Ooh. And realize that it's not part of her actual costume. Felis is not a woman. Perhaps she's a werecat. Will you accompany her backstage? Or will you jump from the stage and try to escape into the crowd? I think one has to be on each side. Oh, sorry. So shall we go with the feline lady? There is a picture here, by the way. Pretty cool picture. So we got William Shakespeare here on the one side and the Pussy Galore on the other. And it seems like everybody's watching us from a stagecoach or something, or we're on the stagecoach. I don't know. It's all very weird. All very strange. So we can either go with Pussy Galore, or we can just go, ah, and run off into the crowd. What do you want to do, guys? Escape. Ooh. Interesting. Escape into the crowd. You jump from the stage and the crowd parts in front of you. Behind you, the conjurer is shouting, "Stop that warrior," he orders. "Without the stranger, I cannot bring back the Baron's daughter." And with a roar, the crowd turns to pursue you. We're hounded like Frankenstein's monster now. The Baron's coachman whips his horses and sets off in pursuit of you. You're in a small town. Old buildings and narrow streets surround you. So, I guess that'll do. Hounded by the mob and increasingly desperate, add 1 point to your trail score. You race along the cobbles and double back along dark alleys. At last, you manage to put some distance between yourself and your pursuers, and you find yourself back in the town square. The conjurer's wagon is in front of you, and Felis is holding the reins and urging on the team of black stallions. Do you want to run and jump onto the back of the wagon? Otherwise, with the sounds of pursuit approaching, you have no choice but to use the elf to get out of here. So, do we want to stay in this world and jump on the back of the wagon? Or do we want to try and use the elf and flee to another dimension? I guess it is. It's a Benny Hill chase. Stay and jump, Leo says. Get on the bandwagon. Jump on the bandwagon, Leo's saying. Let's jump on it. The cramped cabin at the back of the wagon is full of magicians' props and theatrical costumes, jumbled boxes and crates, and imprisoned in a cage suspended from the ceiling is a young woman who must be the Baron's missing daughter. You hear the crack of a whip and the whining of horses, and with a jolt, the wagon begins to move, accelerating rapidly over the cobblestones as the conjurer and his assistant make good their escape from the town. You unstrap your backpack and search for something to help you force open the cage, sturdy lock, but without success. The conjurer has the key, the Baron's daughter says in an excited voice, and I'll expect he'll be coming back soon to check that I'm still a prisoner. You fear she is correct. Will you wait for the conjurer's entrance, or will you use the elf to leave this place? Are we waiting for the conjurer, or are we just going to leave and go, get this world, let's go somewhere else? What do you want to do, guys? Wait for him. And then it's stabbing time. We'll wait for the Conjurer. I feel like this is like a Marvel TV episode of something. You know, like Loki or something. A nervous squeal from the Baron's daughter alerts you to the silent opening of the cabin's inner door. The black-cloaked conjurer stands on the threshold, his malevolent grin revealing a set of sharp teeth. His sibilant words confirm your fear that he is a vampire. A very successful expedition, he whispers. Not only have I captured the Baron's daughter, you, my dear, will come to my castle and become one of the loveliest of my undead brides. But I have snared an intruder whose blood will sustain me on my journey. Approach me, warrior. Look into my eyes. Not around my eyes, look into my eyes. Now you're under, now I'm going to suck your neck. You're in a desperate plight. If you want to throw open the exterior door of the cabin and leap from this wagon, you can. Or if you have a silver dagger, which we don't have, we can't do that. Or you can otherwise, so we can either leap from the wagon or defend ourselves the best we can against the vampire. What are we going to do? It turns out that the magician, the conjurer, is a vampire who's about to suck our neck because he needs a little munch before his journey. So we can either jump out of the wagon or we can go after him as best we can. Moonmat says leap. Get the hell out of there. So we leap from the careering wagon. Is it safe to be leaping from a wagon that's going so fast? Like, hopefully we're not over a canyon. You know what I'm saying? You fling open the door, grab your backpack, and jump from the wagon. Way! Like that. Landing on a pitted surface of a stony road. Thank God for that. Roll 1 die and subtract half the result from your stamina. Half the result? What if I rolled a 1? You only roll 1 die. Man, that seems like bollocks. Right. Roll the 6 so we lose 3 stamina. Okay. We're down to 16 now. I mean, I want to fight, but without a silver dagger, we have to leap. Yeah, we've got a Sicatar, which is the bottle of water, which will dry out us when we drink it. And the ensign, like we stole that. That's it. That's all we got. Oh, round fractions up. Okay, so if you are still alive, yeah, you crawl painfully into the shade of a hedgerow and inspect the contents of your pack. Amazingly, nothing has been broken. Restore 1 point of luck. Wow, we're back up to 12. Nice. That's pretty cool. Another freebie later on. You find that somehow you have collected one of the conjurer's small circular calling cards. It displays the words Marvip the Magician, Marvip, like vamp, isn't it? Marvip the Magician, above a picture of a tall figure with a black cloak and a glowing wand. I bet it is. The shape of the card reminds you of the elf, so you keep it. So we're going to carry, what is it? Conjurer's card, I'll call it. I mean, that'll probably just go in our pocket, really. I don't think... surely it's not a massive card to take up space in our backpack. As you are alone on the road, you can see no travelers or settlements, so you decide to use the elf to go somewhere else. So we look into the elf, and the elf looks into us. I'm going to ignore that one, Spellsinger, because it's not correct. It's not correctly formatted. You pull the glowing sphere from your backpack and cup it in your hands. Instantly you are mesmerized by the myriad visions, so tiny and yet so detailed, that swarm within the elf. The longer you gaze, the more you can see strange creatures, alien peoples, towns, continents, planets, swirling stars. You feel yourself being enveloped by the elf and transported within it. Roll and die. We rolled a 6 again. So that's an even number this time. So let's go. I feel like we're doing well in this. Because we've only got 2 trail points, so they don't know we're coming. They can't sense us. We've got it. Yeah, baby, we've got it. So, by the light of 100 flickering torches, you see that you're in a city of crumbling stone buildings. So we're back to like the shithole world, I feel. The courtyard is full of city's elven inhabitants, and you look up to the dark sky. But you could only see the distant crags and folds of a rocky vault. The entire city is enclosed within a huge cavern. Oh, we're in a cave, actually. Sorry. Excuse me. We're in a cave, and the elves are all staring at you with saucer-shaped eyes that are adapted to life underground. And there is a picture there. I don't know if you can make anything out of that picture, by the way. It's not exactly crystal clear, although there is a huge goblin face there. Oh my god. I've just noticed that. It's kind of contorted out of... Oh, that's pretty cool, that is. Yeah, okay, I see it now. I see. Man. Scary. You're standing at the foot of a dais, on which sits the huge moss-encrusted stone head of a grotesque idol. An elven priest stands beside it. The mouth of the deity is carved into the shape of a spout below it. Next to you, there is a shallow pool. Standing in the pool, chained by the ankles so he cannot move, from beneath the spout is an aged elf, which is that dude there in the bottom. The priest stares at you and then begins to laugh. So, Grundle, he sneers down at the chained elf, this is your so-called proof of your heretical doctrine of other worlds. This looks like a pitiful creature to me, and is no evidence of other realms beyond our cave. But no doubt, if it is a powerful being, it will protect you from the wrath of Vagavon. Do you know what? I'm getting the feeling here that when we rub our orb, it pushes us to a place where somebody's like, when I wish upon a star type of thing, you know? And it's like we got to help somebody's magical Disney wish. You know? That's what it feels like. I don't know if that's the point of it or whatever, but it kind of feels like that. Guards, seize this creature. Chain him with the grundle beneath the mouth of Vagavon. Guards with spears advance towards you. If you have a rune-inscribed wheel hub... Dude, I feel like we're missing so much from this book. We haven't got a rune-inscribed wheel hub. So basically, if you got the what are they, the wheel things on cars, hubcaps. You got a hubcap on you. And you want... No, we haven't got it, sorry. We'll have to fight or surrender. Fight or surrender, guys. That's your options there. What shall we do? Fight or surrender. Man, we are still rocking it. Can't believe it. Clobbering time. Does that mean fight, mate? I mean... Is that what you're saying, Moonmat? I guess so, yeah. I guess so, yeah. You're saying fight. Let them fight. Okay, here we go. You cannot hope to prevail against all the citizens of this city. Moonmat, what you thinking, mate? We're only but one person. You fight with all your strength, but this only increases the determination of the elves to capture you alive for sacrifice to their deity Vavakon. It also increases your trail score by 1 point. Well, we're not going to die then, because the book wouldn't get us to increase our trail score if it was going to kill us. So that's something. Eventually, you are surrounded, subdued, and given several sharp kicks as a reward for causing so much trouble. Deduct 2 points of stamina. Good thing we didn't have that meal. That'd have been a waste. Turn to this page. I think I've been to this page before. No, I haven't. Soon you are standing alongside the elf Grondel. Your ankles are shackled. I'm sorry, the old elf says. I didn't mean to involve you in this dispute. Now we are both doomed. You point out that he was able to summon you to this underground city. Surely he has the power to free himself. My powers were exhausted in bringing you here, he cries, casting a worried glance up to the huge mouth spout that looms over you. This is like Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom, innit? Kalima! Kalima! I feel like that's what's happening here. And now Vavakon will rain death upon us. The water that flows from yonder spout is poisoned. When it falls upon us, it will instantly rot our flesh. Nothing can save us from the downpour. Dude's like a little bit of a misery downer, isn't he? He's a little bit of a half glass empty type of guy, isn't he? If you have a bottle of Sikatar, which we do, woo, we can share it with Grondel. Okay? That's one. Or if you want to use the elf to escape and just abandon this dude, that's a second option we can do. Or we can decide to do nothing and just wait patiently in our chains. So, do we share the bottle of Sikatar that we have? Do we wait to see what happens? Or do we get the hell out of here with the elf? What shall we do, guys? It's potion drinking time. So that's the Sikatar, yeah? So Leo says share the Sikatar with Grondel. It feels like a Sikatar moment. So that's that gone. Yo mate, drink this. It'll dry you. You uncork the little bottle and pass it to Grondel, telling him to drink half of this liquid. Don't drink all of it, mate, because I need some too. You consume the remainder. You cannot detect any change in your body. All you do is wait and hope that the Sikatar will be able to protect you from the effects of the poison. Let's hope that guy that we got this from wasn't joking about that, because that would be, unfortunate. On the dais above you, the elven priest's incantation reach a loud climax. Kalima! Kalima! There are a few seconds of silence, then you hear the gurgling rumble of water rushing through old pipes, and a sheet of liquid splashes all around you. You grit your teeth in the expectation of pain, but you don't even feel wet. Whew! The water runs off your skin as if you had a second invisible skin, and when the flow from the spout ceases, you and Grondel are both completely dry and completely undamaged. Yeah, baby. That is how you do it. Oh, yeah. Man, that's nice. It's nice, isn't it? The priest howls accusations of trickery and dark magic. Well, you guys are elves, and I've got my ball. So, yeah, of course, there's trickery and dark magic going afoot here. But the congregation of elves is impressed by your escape from certain death. The guards release you, and Grondel, you say farewell to the old elf. You want to leave the underground city and wander away into the darkness between the decrepit buildings, looking for a secluded place in which to unpack the elf, but Grondel calls you back, begging you to produce some piece of evidence for his theory that there are worlds beyond the confines of the Elves' cavern. A glimpse of the elf, and with its teeming display of the infinite worlds of the macrocosmos, would be enough to convince anyone that the other worlds exist. So you produce a copy of Playboy and say, here you go, mate, have a look at this. Have a look at this. Check that out. Do you agree to show Grondel and the priests that there is existence of other worlds beyond this cave? Or are you in a hurry into the shadows and use the elf to travel elsewhere? So are we going to be, oh yeah, we'll expand their knowledge of, give them proof, you know, that there are other worlds outside their own, or do we just leave? What do you want to do, guys? Do we blow their minds, or do we blow this joint? Yeah? What shall we do? Guys, I think we're on a world record here. 1 hour and 46 minutes. This has got to be a record, guys. This is... I feel good. Ba-da-da-da-da-da-da. I knew that I would now. I feel good. And I knew that I would now. So good. So good. I got you. Boom, 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 boom. Cool, guys. What are we doing? Are we going to give them proof? Or are we going to blow this joint? We're in a cave of elves. We just narrowly escaped death. And the guy is asking for proof. Give me proof of other worlds, please. Has my internet died or something? Spelson just says give him proof. Guys, refresh the page or refresh the stream if you feel like you're falling behind. So we're going to show Grondel and the priest proof. So we're going to install a sky dish into their cave. We're going to plug them up to the internet, and they're going to have their mind blown. Grondel convinces the priest that you have proof of the existence of other worlds. The two elves watch in fascination as you unwrap the glowing sphere and reveal its vista of multitudinous lands and planets. Grondel stares open-mouthed in amazement. The priest reels backwards, overwhelmed by the shock to the foundations of their very beliefs. You cover the elf and pack it away, but a little damage has already been done. Add 1 point to your trail score. We're now on 4. It's getting dangerous now. Grondel promises to reward you for your help, and he leads you to his house. As you eat the meal he provides for you, it has almost no taste. But it restores up to 4 points of stamina, which gives us 18 now. Points of stamina. Nice one. Thank you for that food. Grondel rummages in chests and cupboards until he finds a silver ring with a small stone in a cumbersome setting. This is not the most attractive of the jewels, he chuckles, but it is very useful. If you twist the setting like this, the ring of light will provide illumination. Such items are very valuable here in the darkness, but I hope that you will find it of some worth in your travels. So, the ring of light we've just been given, guys. We can slip that on our finger and use it whenever we need it. Flaming Heron's in the house. How's it going? Long time no see, mate. Yeah, so, it's very useful to these guys who live underground, but we're all over the place. We don't need a flashlight on our finger. The old elf starts to busy himself with plans for an expedition to leave the cave, and you take your leave as well. By the power of Grayskull! And we zoom off, I'm sure, to another location on another fun-filled adventure. You pull the elf from your backpack, and as soon as you hold the glowing sphere in your hands, you are transfixed by the teeming multitude of scenes that seems to draw you ever more deeper into its void. Visions of bustling cities, heaving oceans, and silently rotating planets surround you on all sides. You feel yourself being pulled amongst them. Roll 1 die. We rolled a 1. It's an odd number. So we'll go with that. Where are we going? Nobody knows. Where do we end up? Who knows? Under a cloudless blue sky. Actually, we'll go here. Under a cloudless blue sky, the park extends to the horizon in every direction. The lush grass is dotted with spines of oaks and elms. Or actually, we're in a forest, to be honest. Sorry. And gently rolling hills. Not a branch stirs. No bird song disturbs the silence. As you approach the edge of the wood, the undergrowth is thrown into a turmoil of movement as a bizarre assortment of wildlife bursts from the cover of the trees. Deer, rabbits, hares, foxes, badgers, boars, even brown bears, and with them are horned, goat-legged satyrs, green-skinned nymphs, centaurs, and unicorns. They're all running, fleeing from the wood, scattering in panic across the park, open-mouthed with fear, but as silent as shadows. And there's even a picture, guys, we have. So there's all the animals coming out. I don't know if you can make that out, if it's focused right. So all that's coming out. You can see that. Man. They run past, barely noticing you in their headlong flight. You look again towards the wood and see their terrible pursuers. Armored giants on horned war beasts emerge from between the trees. Dude, it's like Transformers world we've landed on. Galloping relentlessly but as silently as they prey. These giant, noble and cruel-featured are clothed in ornate bejeweled costumes, their weapons sparkling in the sunlight. Their red-eyed staids seem to skim the grass. Do you want to stand in the path of these hunters and try and attract their attention? Yo! Or do you want to just move out the way and let them all come running past you? So do we want to stand in the middle and go, stop? Or do we want to jump out of the way? What shall we do, guys? Man, this is a right one, this, isn't it? This book really does put you in some very strange situations, doesn't it? Move aside, Spellsinger says. Let's stand well clear. Let's get out of the way here. They're coming through, we'll let them go. The hunters exchange neither a glance nor a shout as they swiftly glide past in pursuit of the scattered woodland creatures. Within a moment they have all swept past you. Within a few seconds they have disappeared behind a thick clump of trees. The park is peaceful once again, silent and apparently empty of life under a cloudless sky. So, gotta respect that, haven't you? You wander aimlessly for a while but encounter no one. There seems to be no choice but to use the elf to leave this place. Bit of a waste. I was kind of looking forward to seeing Wonderland then. You take the elf from your backpack and hold it up to your hands. By the power of Grayskull! The countless vistas that swarm within the spinning sphere, tiny yet perfect in every detail, entrance you immediately. Strange creatures, alien peoples, towns, continents, planets, swirling stars, and cloudy galaxies swim before your very eyes. You feel yourself being enveloped by the elf and transported within it once more. Roll 1 die, and let's see where we go today. Roll a 4, which is even, Stephen. So, Where do you think this is going to take us, guys? We're going to go to Legoland, do you reckon? You're in a thick forest. So, nah, we are in a forest. Thick forest, canopy of trees shuts out most of the daylight. The undergrowth hampers your movements. You start walking and are soon approaching a rough road that runs through the forest. You have almost reached the road when you hear footsteps. Crouching behind a bush, you see a lone figure trudging along the road. A young man with a small harp slung on his back. You assume he's a minstrel, and before you can greet him, you hear heavy footfalls. Striding along the road from the other direction comes a gigantic, ungainly, two-legged lizard ridden by a brutish warrior with the face of a boar. And I think we have a picture. So we're in the forest. Lizard boy, boar face. It's Borat, isn't it? Hello, how you doing? I come to see you. It's Borat. Riding the lizard man, isn't it? We are going strong, isn't it? When Borat spies the minstrel, he urges his mount into a charge. Instead of running away or defending himself, the minstrel unslings his harp and starts to play and sing by itself. The effect on Borat is instant. He sways in his saddle and almost falls. The minstrel draws his sword to finish off his helpless attacker, but another boar face approaches on another giant lizard, and you can hear the heavy tread of a third approaching. This dude's gonna get railed. Will you remain hidden and just watch what happens and go, oh, this is cool, we don't have to fight? Or do you want to go to the minstrel's aid? Do you want to jump in and the 3 against 1 save the minstrel? Or shall we just watch and see what happens? No one wants to be roadkill, innit? Definitely not, no. This one, yeah. I'm enjoying this one. This one's a nice, fun adventure. If it starts to get way too late for the majority of viewers, or if people are like, I can't stay anymore, I've got to go somewhere, then we will cut it in half and continue it up next week instead, because I can understand people in Australia, if it's getting to like 2 a.m, 3 a.m, and we're still not dead, then I don't want to force people to stay awake. So I'd rather just go, right, we'll pick this up next week, you know, instead of people missing out, you know. But only if a majority of people that affects, you know. If everyone's happy, we keep going strong, man. I think we got a good chance of finishing this book, guys. You know, I'm only rambling because somebody hasn't made a choice yet. So, do we remain hidden or do we go to the minstrel's aid? Yeah. Maybe if you need to refresh the stream, keep reading. Do a 24-hour stream. Empire, you love your 24 hours, mate. Oh, Empire, you missed this actually. On the August the 27th of Wednesday, there will be a 12-hour stream of Fighting Fantasy. We're going to paint. We're going to do paint figures. We're going to talk about all the books in the Fighting Fantasy series. We're going to look at the artworks. We're going to watch videos of Fighting Fantasy, documentaries. We're going to learn the history. It's going to be a Fighting Fantasy day, okay? August the 27th. Book your spot. Help the minstrel, Leo says. Okay, let's jump in to the minstrel's aid to these 3 Borats that are coming after him. You rush in from the forest and fend off the attack of the second boar-faced soldier. Meanwhile, the minstrel dispatches the dazed soldier who began the attack. The soldier facing you reins back his mount and turns to flee just as the third soldier, riding another giant lizard, arrives on the scene and quickly decides that he too will retreat as well. Yeah, you bunch of pussies, get out of here. The minstrel has other ideas, though, and he plucks savagely at the strings of his harp. He's playing his harp again. He's harping on a bit. Whose song rises to a painful crescendo. The two boar-faced soldiers cannot resist the music of the harp. With glazed eyes, they dismount and trudge back to the minstrel, who swiftly dispatches them. "A warrior," he says, turning to you, "and disguised as I am. A remarkable coincidence. My thanks to you anyway, stranger." He points to the bodies of the boar-faced soldiers. "They are Xenowans. Wretched beings, but they are mine." What the hell's he going on about? "I am returning to reclaim my birthright from Frampa the usurper. These scum were clearly loyal to their new master. Will you come with me? Another sword arm would be useful." He strums the strings of his harp. He's playing the Blue Peter song, if anybody hasn't cottoned on. He strums the strings of his harp and produces a sound that seems to call to your very soul. If you do not want to accompany the minstrel, you can either run away into the forest, walk away along the road, or we can agree to go with him. What shall we do? Shall we run into the forest, just walk on down the road, go with the minstrel? We will agree to go with him. "Yeah, I believe I can hang out with you." The minstrel and his harp remain silent. Oh, he's giving us the silent treatment now. As you accompany them along the road, which winds through the forest and eventually begins to rise into rockier terrain. Ooh. Going into the mountains. At last you reach the summit as the road winds, through a neck between two crags, and you stop alongside the minstrel to survey the wooded plateau in front of you. In the distance there is a walled citadel. Its granite keeps dominating the highest point. Two more Xenowan soldiers emerge from a small watchtower near the road. The minstrel thumps the harp the harp slung across his back, and the instrument starts to sing. Join Harpy McHarpface. Starts to sing. Enthralled by the eerie melody, the Xenowan guards seem befuddled and clumsy. The minstrel draws his sword and runs at them, and in the ensuing melee succeeds in killing both of them. "It is so sweet. It is so sweet to dispose of these traitors," he says, wiping his sword with a clump of grass. He seems pretty proficient, this guy. "And this is but the beginning of my revenge. Shall we continue to the citadel? I promise you a wealth of entertainment there." If you find the minstrel's attitude too bloodthirsty, you can decline his offer and walk away, or we can accompany him to the citadel. What do you reckon, guys? Shall we go with him? See what happens? What fun adventures we get into? Or will we go, "Mate, nah, actually, do you know what, mate? This is too rich for my blood. I'm out." Which one shall we do? Should we go with him, or should we back off? In for a penny. I think Leo's in for it, yeah? I'm going to guess in for a penny you mean accompany him to the citadel. It's never directly says it, I noticed. On some occasions, just alludes to it, and then, well, probably then says, "Well, you decided that one, mate, not me." So, in for a penny, yeah, you mean go with him, not disappear back out. Yeah? Is that correct? Having passed the forest guards and the watchtower, the minstrel is not challenged again, even at the gate of the citadel. Within the walls, the streets are decked with flags. The taverns are full of boar-faced Zinwanians. Zinwanians, guys. Making merry. Making merry. You and the minstrel attract stares, but a few notes from the minstrel's harp ensures a hearty welcome. This dude's got a magic harp, hasn't he? You ask the minstrel about the celebrations. It is 7 years to the day since I was banished, he replies. No doubt the usurper Frampa has declared a day of revelling, and he will rue it. The minstrel leads you up to the inner bailey of the keep, where the court in finest robes are seated at a banquet, watched by a throng of townspeople. Frampa, lord of the citadel, calls for entertainment. His jester speaks up. There is talk of a stranger in town, sire. He shouts for the benefit of the whole assembly. Call forth the minstrel. Frampa's snout, gaping in shock, clutches the arms of the throne. No, he yells. It is Barogzag in disguise. The seers warned of a minstrel. Do not let him play. But it's too late. Wary of your sword, the guards dare not approach the minstrel as his harp begins to play. The crowd, the courtiers, the guards are struck dumb. Then, as the minstrel wrests different tunes from the harp, the Zinwanians start to laugh uncontrollably, and the minstrel mocks with their helpless mirth. He makes them weep, then stand up and dance like marionettes. You are beginning to find the situation threatening. Will you continue to watch the minstrel's tricks, or will you try to stop him? I mean, follow the homicidal minstrel. I mean, I don't. So he's kind of come in as an assassin then? Is that it? So should we continue to watch what's going to happen? You know, or will we try and say, yo, Minsty, stop it. What you doing? Let's all just calm down, yeah? Let's come join. I've got a group of people who want to talk to you, yeah? They want to talk to you about the Lord, okay? Do you mind if I have a chat, guys? Yeah? Is that... Twat him with the harp. I don't think that was an option, mate. But I'm going to take that. You mean try to stop him. So we'll go with that. Say, oi, Minsty. Stop it now. You strike the harp from the minstrel's hands. It continues to sing. But the minstrel turns to confront you, and his face is contorted with rage. The harp's melody falters. The Zinwanians begin to recover their wits, but you have little time to notice them. Your attention is fixed on the sword-wielding minstrel, whose appearance is changing even as he attacks you. His human appearance was just an illusion. He's really Baraglax, which is what they predicted he was, a large, powerfully built Zinwanian, and a formidable swordsman. He's got a stamina of 13, as we have a stamina of 18. He has a skill of 9, as we have a skill of 7. So we have to -2 off our attack, and we have to fight him. So it does say if you survive 3 rounds of combat. So we only have to do 3 rounds of combat, which seems a bit... It kind of just stops you from fighting, doesn't it? Okay, so the first one, we have to -2 off our roll. Never mind, he's just killed us, guys. 6 he got. He's just nuked us, and it's well after the 30-minute mark as well. The 30-minute mark is definitely gone. We can't get away from that one, I'm afraid. He rolled a 6. 3 rounds to survive, and we were so... I mean, we only got a 4, which we had to minus 2 points. So we would have had a 2, basically. So, and if we didn't have this rule, we would have had to minus 10 points of stamina. You know, so it really wouldn't have been a fight of much, to be honest, I feel. I don't think we would have survived 3 rounds anyway, but I know, I can't believe we were doing so well and the bloody double 6 got us. I mean, I would have preferred that to be a double 1 so he dies, you know, but that's it, guys. That's all you get. So, but have no fear, guys. It's not over yet. Well, I mean, it is for this particular story, I will say. But we do have, don't forget, 2 weeks' time, the next adventure. Yeah? Can anybody predict what it is? Does anybody know? It was good fun, and your voice acting is very good. Well, cheers. Thank you for the... you don't have to butter me up, mate. Unless you're trying to get somewhere with me. But, yeah. Never played that one before. No, first time. Who else's first time was that? I mean, to be honest, that's the furthest I've ever gotten in this book. I've never got that far. So, I really enjoyed getting that far with this book. But, does anybody know what the next one is in the series? Which is right here. Book number 46, guys. It is Tower of Destruction. That is the next one. I don't know if you actually saw that then. Tower of Destruction. So that's the next one we're doing. And give me a second while I just create the live stream for it, and then I'll pop it in this channel. So just give me a second, guys, before you leg it. So we're going to create, go live, reuse these settings, I suppose. So this one is called Tower of Destruction. Tower of Desi. Destruction. Tower of Destruction. I don't know if that's correct. There we go. Thumbnail. Yeah, we want to change the thumbnail. Make sure it's accurate. Done. Done. Tags. Nah. That don't have to monetize, do we? Everyone. Public. So it's 23rd of March. So we're talking about the 6th of April. Okay. Let me just double check to make sure I haven't got anything going on the 6th of April. 6th of April has nil point on it. Got nothing going on. So that's that. There we go. It's been made. Let me get you the link, guys, and then you can just click on it in a bit and give it a thumbs up there, okay? So just head over to that whenever you get a sec, give it a thumbs up, notify me, all that jazz, and we can do the 3-minute disappearance act. So let me catch up with the chat here. Going so well, it seems. I know, man. I never played that one before. It's almost midnight down under, so okay. So let me stop the time there. So we lasted 2 hours and 10 minutes basically. So when it's 1 o'clock here, it's midnight for you. So yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, like 11 hours. Okay. Time to leg it now. Right, so guys, let me hit you up with this. Guys, thank you so much for joining me. I really appreciate it. Don't forget to join as a member if you want to join in on when I start doing... I'm going to start with the sorcery series as well, by the way. When I start reading these books for myself, or I'm choosing all the adventures, I'm going to stream it to members only as a thank you for being a member. So if you do want to watch that, then that will start probably either next month or in May. Okay, and obviously on August the 27th we're going to do the painting of the models alongside Fighting Fantasy Day or International Game Book Day, and in 2 weeks time we're back with Tower of Destruction. So I really appreciate all the support, guys, all the membership joins or the subscriptions or the thumbs up to the videos. I appreciate it all, and there's no requisite for doing any of it, but thank you for when you do. So let's hit up now the 3-minute countdown. Let me kill the dungeon, and there we go. So what's up? How's it going? Adam's choice. So these are... So yeah, so I'm going to start with the sorcery series, and then oh shit! Oh dudes! Whoa! Hang on! Stop the press! Stop the press! Yes, I forgot to tell you about this Facebook thing, guys. Oh my gosh! Right. So I'm not going to mention names when I say this because I don't think there's a need to. But somebody who has recently started a YouTube channel reviewing or talking about, or actually no, not reviewing, actually playing through these Fighting Fantasy game books. Not just Fighting Fantasy game books, but basically any game book, really, is what they've done. And they've started a channel, like I said. I'm not gonna... I have got everything that was deleted on Facebook. So something happened off Facebook in private messages, which were shared in a post on Facebook, and then everything got deleted when it started to get a little bit like legal. Okay, so from what I could... From everything I've got here, and I did screenshot everything and save it, so all this stuff I've got here is no longer available. Basically what's happened is somebody approached... There was a lady who approached somebody to ask for reviews, like I'd like to review your book on my channel. Okay, and there is proof that this lady asked this writer. Okay, and I don't know obviously what was said from his response. Okay, but a review was put on Amazon, which is, you can see it still to this day. I can't remember the name of the writer. I think his name was Adam, actually. And the review was focused only on the front cover of the book. Nothing about the written story, but it was a very negative, attacking review of how AI was used to make the cover and how crap it looked, and how this reviewer, this lady, pointed it out, you know, but just concentrated only on this front cover for some reason. Like, anyway, the review from my point of view was just an attack. This writer, Adam, I think his name is, obviously got offended and called this woman out in a Facebook group and said, I don't think it's right you do this, and all, blah, blah, blah. Must have been very negative, right, and attacky towards this lady, probably mentioning time in a month or something, because her retaliation to that was, I think, also a video that was filmed, but basically going, misogynistic men thinking they rule the world and all this, right? I'm not having all this. And he must have said something pretty dire, because she contacted Facebook and got his page removed. So he must have attacked her pretty badly in defense of her attack on his review. And then other people started to get involved because, you know, there's a circle of friends on the one major Facebook group. There's like a circle of friends, you know, and so suddenly all these circle of friends started to chime in, right, and to also just block this woman, right, completely. And this woman's defense was, everyone's attacking me, everyone's against me, you know, trying to call them out. Basically a Karen, basically. And saying, like, you know, don't believe what they're saying about me, yada, 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 really causing a stink. And some of these things that I've said here, like that I've seen here, you know, is really like, so this is one such post from one of the writers who has written for Fighting Fantasy now, okay? And he says, I have decided to delete my previous posts on the subject of this woman, trolling behavior, and consolidate them into a single summary post in the hope that group members will take action against her in that they see as appropriate. I do repeat my appeal that Facebook complaints and YouTube complaints are filed against her, and I stand by this. And I do not want the situation to cause internal issues on this forum. However, people need to understand that several of us, including myself, are direct victims of her abuse, trolling, and untruths, and that she is still relentlessly pursuing this against some of us, having now resorted to personal abuse on Amazon, which is that review I said. The YouTube video where she attacks myself and some other lady is right here, and he links in that video. So all this is available on her YouTube channel. I mean, she's only just started doing the YouTube channel by the looks of it. But very opinionated, very attacky, if you can understand through her very thick accent of where she lives in the world. Okay? And then, yeah, if you can genuinely able to assist this lady in seeking legal advice now, and this is not the lady, the troll, this is the other lady who's helping the pitchfork protest, against her for slandering business interests, then please contact him directly. This troll's behavior is damaging to those who she is targeting. So basically what I could summarize from all this is that she asked somebody for a lot of books to review on her channel. So I've got exclusive access to a book review, which either was denied or I don't know, but somebody then sent a shitload of books for her to review on her channel. And after reading one of them, and she must have bought one to actually make the review on Amazon, she then left a very negative, you know, your cover is crap, basically. And then that person retaliated with nasty stuff. Then she went to Facebook. He got his page removed. You know, his page where he sells all this stuff, he must have said something bad, otherwise Facebook wouldn't have removed his page just because somebody wanted it to, you know. It must have had some stuff there. And so she got his page removed. Then everybody chimed in to block this woman, to go for this woman. Now she started doing videos going, I'm getting attacked by the masses, the townspeople are after me, I'm Shrek now. And it just escalated to the point where this other lady who I believe is either an admin maybe on some of these game book sites, she posted out, you know, a post which basically said, I need legal help here, guys. It's got to the point where I need, if anybody, you know, can do a lawyer thing, I need help, right? Here it is. Yeah, all these, what I'm reading has been deleted. There's no proof of any of this now. But author update. Apparently, the admins of this particular Fighting Fantasy game book group were forced to delete my apology post because the comments began to get hostile and divisive again, and it was for this very reason I made the decision to delete all of my posts. Basically, everybody then started attacking this woman, this troll lady, and it's not what this original writer lady wanted. So she removed that and said, I want to apologize because I want to issue a formal apology. You know, I think it just got to a point where it's like things are going too far here, you know. I will read out the review that this person left because I've just found it now on my phone here. So her review, obviously she gave it like a 1 star, you know, said, I wouldn't bother, to be honest. This book had obvious AI slop for the cover. It was me who noticed before this bright spark finalized the physical edition. He never even thanked me for this and immediately forgot who I even was. He's been making dubious claims but blocked me rather than validate his dubious claims. He complains a lot about nobody buying and reading his book but is being a complete jerk after I asked about getting a physical copy to do a Let's Play on my channel, even though I kindly offered free promotion to someone who plainly hasn't been promoting their book very much at all. My digital edition actually has the original trashy AI slop cover, since it was absolutely me who... I mean, I won't read further because this you can still read on Amazon, you know. It's a review of basically his book, but only talks about the bloody, you know, the cover. Like, that's not... Reviewing the cover is not a full review of the book. That never talks about the contents of the book. So, you know... Yeah. Anyway, this is something also that this troll lady said in her defense, okay, saying various bully trolls are spreading malicious... just to be fair, so I've said from one side, I want to say from her side, just to be fair. So this bully troll says various bully trolls are spreading malicious rumors about me in various gamebook groups. It's reaching spam levels now. It's all just playground bullying, I suppose, and very juvenile. However, it's also intentionally malicious, and a large gang of men appear to be ganging up on me for actually no good reason and having a really pathetic gossip session, even though none of them even bother to communicate with me like normal people. She calls out one of the writers of Fighting Fantasy is basically behaving like Dump Ghost from the hilarious series Please Like. Never heard of that. I have already written a full account of what actually happened. This relates to I don't know if I can read the name of this entity. You know, like Fighting Fantasy. There's also another one. Suspicious Poisoned Gift Books, which I never requested and now absolutely refuse to touch because it's obvious that this other lady, offering to send me the Arbiter, never heard of that, was part of some kind of sick-minded trap engineered by the original writer. I mean, she goes on again to have a go. She obviously clearly did buy a book because you can't write a review on Amazon unless you buy the copy of the book. So... and I have got a personal message from the troll thanking that other lady for all the free books as well. So she did, even though she publicly stated she didn't. Basically, a huge bunch of faff children in the playground is what it is. Anyway, I just thought I'd mention it because it all kicked off and, you know, this was the first Fighting Fantasy. You know, do you know what? In all the years that I've been a member of Fighting Fantasy, I've never seen anything like this ever. And that speaks volumes. That somebody comes in who is new to the community and suddenly there is a massive kickoff. Like, I've never seen anybody have that effect on a community of Fighting Fantasy. So to me, that really shows you more than the words of either stories. You don't know who to believe. You know, they could lie, but actions speak louder than words, you know? So I look at the actions and that tells me the truth. Anyway, never judge a book by its cover. Mate, that is the most one truest thing in all of this. Never judge a book by its AI cover, you know? I don't know if there was AI used at all, but anyway. I just thought I'd mention it because it's a little bit of drama, and in case, because everything got deleted. I've still got everything that was deleted, by the way, so if, you know what I mean, if anything happens, I still have the copies, guys. And that's what will keep me alive in the next 5 years. Anyway, let's return back now to a regularly programmed, you know, ending, guys. All right. We've still got the 3-minute countdown. All right. So yeah, a little bit of drama. I have the receipts. Yes, I have the receipts, and I'm not afraid to use them. Yeah, bloody hell, eh? It's all a bit of drama. It's all a little bit of fun, but it still doesn't stop us from getting shafted in the bum by a double bloody sixes, isn't it? Why would you want nobody to review your books unless she paid you? Eh? Why would you want a nobody? Well, mate, that's a bit unfair saying somebody's a nobody. Everybody's a somebody. You know, I get that people want to further their channel by doing reviews or, you know, creating drama. Like, I get that, you know. But, I don't know. There's ways in doing things. Please, one thing I will say is please do not go to, if you do find out who this troll is, don't bother going to her YouTube channel to watch her ranting videos, because that gives her a false impression that she actually has validation points. I think both sides are wrong at this one. I think both sides, like there was a bit of a pitchfork mentality to go after her once she started being a dickhead. You know, once she started making these demands thinking she's some big I am, then I think everybody rallied together, and that was unfair. And it got to the point where it went too far and people realized this, so they shut everything down. She's been blocked and everything like this. I mean, who knows, maybe she'll go to the lawyers or something, but at the end of the day, this is all online. This is what it's like online. You got to take the bad with the good. I just say, you know, I've been on the negative side of a lot of stuff as well in my life. So I know what it's like when you have a group of people on top of you. That sounds way worse than it actually is. But yeah, can someone please buy Adam a new set of dice? Yeah, guys, send your dice in to the, I don't know how, I can't give my address out really, but you know. Anyway, I'm out, guys. It's almost over. I'll see you next time, guys. All right? Bye.